So what's the name of your team again?
So we are the Valkyrie Directive, and we have 14 members and counting. And our 14th one is Justin over there. Justin, raise your hand. He's the rookie. He's the greenhorn. So he's getting his official member event cherry popped at the event at Yellow Dog coming up, hosted by Big House Milsom. So he's run a couple events with us before, but he's actually gonna be one with the squad this time.
A formal member of the team.
Yep. So he's definitely earned it.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So
yeah, man.
But you said bring some guys, and I delivered. So we have 5 of us here.
Oh no, this is great, dude. I love it. I love meeting all these like a whole team, or a big part of a team. It's cool.
Absolutely, and I think I
welcome all you guys that haven't been on here before. Everybody has, each of you that haven't been on, besides Tony, and appreciate you being on.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Hell yeah,
Thanks
man!
For the invite, man.
So the last time, I could barely even hear Connor on that one, but the last time I was on, we spoke a lot about Yellow Dog, and towards the end of the podcast, you told us that, hey, when you guys are closer to the event, get a couple guys on, and we'll talk more about the event in detail when there's more details out. And that's kind of what we're here for today, or at least I'd say the main part, because you were wondering, and there's a lot of details that have dropped that we know about. We got our mission briefing. We got our gear ready. We got our tickets. We're all pumped. So ask as many questions as you'd like, and heck, we'll deliver. I mean, and I think everyone here has their own opinion. So fire away.
So why don't we start with the intro for each person that hasn't been on here. So we'll start on my screen. It's on the top left is Connor with the mushroom tip over here. Okay.
Oh yeah,
hanging out. Anyone listen? Don't turn on your video unless you want to see this X-rated. Okay. He's got mushroom tip. It's just the tip, I promise. But
just the tip. Nice and red.
It's colorful. All right. I don't know.
Solid white shaft.
Yeah.
It's a nice tip, though. It's glowing.
It's glowing.
It's healthy.
It's radiant. Quite radiant.
Yeah. So start up there, and then after that we'll have who's on my middle of the screen is what's your guys' name again? In the middle, the two guys that are together.
I'm Justin. I'm Billy.
Yeah. Okay, so Justin, Billy, you'll go after Connor, and then War Dog, you can go after. You can finish it up. Cool.
Hi, I'm Connor. I'd like to first start. Thank you for the invite out on this. As I said, this is probably the coolest thing I've done with Airsoft. This is
awesome, man.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
You can find all of my silly stuff as @Bjorn on Instagram. I'm the team's demo guy, and the first dude I blew up was myself. So if that says anything.
That's a good demo guy. Okay, all right.
And there is footage of me doing that on my Instagram. So
okay, I might pull that up tonight.
You can go first. Rookie first. All right. I'm Justin. This is gonna be my first big operation as well. I mean, I've played Airsoft loads and loads of times. I've been on a couple teams here and there. I've been doing it for a few years, but I took a long break, just came back. Happy to be with these boys. It's a great family over here. Nice warm welcome so far. So very happy with everything, I love all the guys I've met. I've had nothing but good times, nothing but good thing to say, nothing but respect all the way around. So just wanted to say that.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to this op and to getting some reps in with the boys. It's going to be a good one. I can feel it. I don't know. I'm typically munitions. I like to always have a surplus of ammo on me. So yeah, I mean, that's a little bit about me. I just let the gameplay do the rest. I don't talk too much.
Nice.
I'm Billy. I've been doing airsoft since about 2016. I started off as a speed softer, and then I transferred into Milsim with these guys here. And I'm the team's, I guess you could say, CQB guy. I flourish in tight places, buildings. I'm excited to be here. Thank you again for having us here. And something I'm doing is I actually started making custom rigs. So be ready to see those at Yellow Dog.
Sweet.
And funny thing about Ace over here, or as Billy, we call him Ace on the team. The funny thing about him is he was on my first airsoft team back when I first started, when I was a teenager, and he's been with me since.
Damn,
So
okay.
when I became captain, I recruited him, and he came on. He came on right away.
Long-term friends. That's good.
And that leaves me. So
Yeah, it does.
my name's Demetrius, or call sign War Dog, just like that on Instagram with the underscore in between. And I'm one of the team's machine gunners, usually the heavy ones, M60. I got 1919 heavy machine guns, a lot of suppressive
Dude.
fire.
Okay.
And I'm also one of our team's techs. Of almost everyone on screen here, I've fixed their gun, brought it back to life, upgraded, made it really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's all self-taught. So I got
Yeah,
everyone's stuff running for Yellow Dog. Really
Okay.
excited for this. This is actually one of the few events I'm not running an LMG. So that'll be
okay.
a weight lifted off my shoulders for that one.
Literally.
Quite literally. I
Yeah.
usually carry ammo too. I usually have like 7 of these on me.
Oh shit.
Just to be ready.
Well, you
Yeah.
usually go through 2 in one engagement, so
I have quite literally emptied 2 bottles in 10 minutes.
Oh, I'm sure if you're doing
And
covering,
produced results.
I was going to say that's
results.
yeah. If you're doing covering fire the way a machine gunner's supposed to be doing it, then like you're not trying to get kills when you're a machine gunner. You're trying to like
Keep heads
cover
down.
fire so that everyone can maneuver and do what they got to do to get the kills. So you're a support player and you're going through shit tons of ammo.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've fixed guns on the field. I've broken enemy guns on the field. I've put a BB.
You want to tell that story real quick?
So this
That's
was
a great story.
This quick story. I'll try and keep it quick. This was at Grenadier Tactical's op Hammerfall in 2022, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was actually the Juggernaut day one. I had heavy
shit.
armor. I was kitted up.
The whole suit. Do you have a Juggernaut suit yourself?
I do.
Okay,
I've made most of it. Had some armor made. And keep it quick.
I was gonna say this is show and tell, man. So if any of you guys have any
Here's my
gear
mask.
guns available, and you wanna show it off, we can do that. Okay.
I
Oh, dude,
wish
that's
my
cool.
camera
Army of
was
Two.
on.
Looks like Army of
Army
Two.
of 2 to start.
Hell yeah.
And I think I was like to think I was pretty effective. I mean, I had the enemy team wasting hundreds of dollars in grenades on me. To no
Oh my
avail.
god. You know,
To
I didn't
no
even think of
avail.
that. That's a good goal. Like, if you're a Juggernaut or a machine gunner, like, how many grenades can we get them to throw at me and waste it? Where they don't actually hit me.
Watch people wind up and chuck it. It's so far away, you just kind of walk away from it.
That's
A lot of
awesome.
funny
Him
moments.
as a Juggernaut, every time he's played as a Juggernaut, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, War Dog, but has it been 2 times or 3 times you've been in-game Juggernaut?
2 times and then
Hammerfall?
once at open play. So 2 times.
Gotcha. Every time he's been on the field as an actual Juggernaut with Juggernaut rules, he has been a menace to society because not only has he broken people's guns as a Juggernaut legally, not even like the dude that can't handle being shot at and he breaks your gun kind of rage. No, he legally broke somebody's gun. I'll let him tell that story. But I've seen this man strike fear into the hearts of many as he walks around with a Desert Eagle hand cannon and jug suit, just walking around shooting people.
That's awesome. Well, before we continue, let me I always forget to do this. Okay, because a lot of times I do this in chat before the thing starts because people ask questions, about the process, the setup, whatever. So there's no rules on this podcast. Okay, there's anything goes. Whatever kind of language you want to use is fine. I put these on all the different video platforms and audio platforms. They go on. If you search Trifecta Airsoft Podcast, Google it or whatever, you'll find all the things that are available on. Okay, so if it gets canceled on YouTube for some reason, for showing off a gear or guns or whatever.
Some reason.
Yeah, no shit, right? Or our language, verbiage like using guns or, whatever. Okay, I don't care. We don't self-censor on this channel. Just speak like you normally do. Okay, be yourselves. It's completely, and it's very casual. Okay, so if you got to get up and take a piss, there you don't have to ask. Just go, whatever. I don't give a shit. I mean, if it's just me and one other person, then hey, hold on, I'll be right back. We've done it numerous times. I cut it out in the video. So it's very laid back. If somebody's dog barks in the background, I don't care. I've had people had their dog in the video. I've had people have their baby that woke up from a nap sitting on their lap to finish, like an hour of us talking where the baby's on. I don't care. We're all cool, man. Everything is good. I'm not doing this, like professionally or like a professional setup. This is a casual setting where we can just bullshit and have fun. And I want to hear you guys' stories and kind of like your background and how you got started in Airsoft and see where it goes, So everything's good. So just so you know, okay?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Respect it.
So anyway,
Good to know.
continue, man. I want to hear the story.
So, yeah, again, keep that short. Day one was very effective. I got put in what I call juggy timeout as I got radioed in from game admins that the enemy was complaining too much.
That you were too good.
They claimed I didn't follow the rules, and I had a handy copy of the rules on my phone ready to show anyone at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they
you
ended
already
up winning.
knew they were going to bitch about it, so.
I felt it, yeah. I felt it in my heart.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. There's no way. It's grossly inefficient.
Uh-huh.
But,
so what were they complaining about? What was the rule that you could break or what are your rules as a juggernaut?
Well, for that event, the rules on grenades were a 10-foot kill radius. One grenade puts me down to my knees. I can't do anything for 30 seconds.
Gotcha.
And then I'm right under that in their rule set said the juggernaut is invulnerable during this time. So, run. Then once my 30 seconds is up, I stand back up.
Yeah.
Grenade number 2 kills me. I'm done. I have to respawn or cool down, whatever they wanted me to do. Just fine. But they were putting a grenade at my feet while I was down, and I'm telling them like I'm not. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you're invulnerable when you're down.
So 3 grenades were wasted that way that day, and then throughout the day, the enemy team complained. Admin stepped in and wanted me to put I think they told me they wanted me to sit out for a little bit. So I sat out for a little bit. And
motherfucker.
Rendezvoused with Hazard.
I'm just gonna say it now, you motherfucker.
Rendezvoused with Hazard here, and the position came under attack. And I'm thinking I'm in juggy timeout, so I'm sitting down. And he's yelling at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I got told to sit here. I'm in juggy timeout. You put me there," because he radioed in the info to me.
Yeah.
So that's the quick story of juggy timeout. Leading into day 2, I'm a normal.
See, no. I'm gonna cut you off right there, you son of a bitch. I told you to put the armor off because they need a break from the juggernaut. I did not say sit your slap happy ass on that porch while we all get shot at.
To which I responded.
So he put you in timeout?
He put me in timeout.
Tony.
I did not choose this. I got bitched at by game admin, and then game admin said, "Listen, we need a break from the juggernaut. Just have him take the armor off for a while. We'll call him back in later." So I radioed in exactly that because if this motherfucker knows me better than anyone at work, especially, I'm literal. So I'm going to repeat what the hell I said, and he did not take that literally. So now he's sitting here. I can't even replicate the motion because you can't see my camera. But he's sitting there. I want you to imagine like the most depressed kid on the playground, like visibly upset.
And Tony, I'm going to cut you off real quick. Just a little bit of context. This argument has been going on since that day,
And how long
Yes.
ago was this?
2022.
Holy
Mid
shit!
2022,
It was
July.
September of 2022, wasn't it?
No,
Damn.
no, it wasn't September. It was
It was a chilly
July, I thought.
October. No, it was
I don't
October.
know
It
my
was fall.
months.
Remember,
It's
we were
almost a year.
freezing.
Listen, we may not have the month down pat, but we all remember the day.
Yeah.
Never forget Operation Hammerfall, Juggy Timeout Wars.
Day two
I love that
comes
nickname,
along.
Juggy Timeout.
Day two comes along, and I just want to play now. I don't want to be limited to walking, all the gear on me. So I'm just a regular gunner for the day. And we get involved in a firefight deep in the woods. You know, there's always a thing outdoors, mostly in, but sometimes out too. Someone's not calling their hit. And I think I'm witnessing it firsthand. I'm shooting at someone like, I'm not that bad of a shot. He's not that far away.
Yeah.
Like something's got to give. So he's flanking us. I let it be. I ignore him for a little bit, let him get close, and I put a really good burst down on this guy. It was kind of like that, like, fuck you, you're getting hit
Yeah.
now.
Full out of the shit out of him until he raised his hand.
And he ended up just ducking behind a tree and hiding out. The fighting keeps going on. We push back, and someone tells me, dude, you broke that guy's fucking gun. Like, you shot down his inner barrel and busted his gun. He has it in pieces right now in the woods. I'm
Holy
like, good,
shit.
fuck that guy. But, yeah.
Fucking cheaters,
That-
man.
I was a proud captain that day.
Well, that was your-
I'm a proud captain. I'm a proud captain every day, but that moment in particular was
That was
fantastic.
your retribution for being in Juggy Timeout.
Yeah.
Made
Oh,
you
yeah.
feel better.
I felt like that, too. It was retribution for that, retribution for the cheating. Yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
And we won that entire game.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, that was a great day.
That's cool.
But I have stories for each.
Well, have
each
you
one of these
played-
guys?
So have you you have the Juggernaut suit? Have you played other events and other fields with different rules for Juggernaut? Because I've talked to a handful of people that have played Juggernaut, and one of the best ones I've heard, or styles of play, or the rules, I guess, was that this guy was invulnerable, indestructible the whole game. He couldn't run, but he had on his suit. He built a one of these light things, you know. Yeah, you know, I've heard this before, where like they manually switch it to red to blue, whatever, based on when they get hit or who they get hit by or something. But this guy had a in the front. If you shot him in the front, it would turn, his light would turn red, and he had this big like pressure plate in the front. And if you shot him in the back, it would turn blue. So if you wanted to, you know, the Juggernaut on your team, then you would shoot whatever color. And so he just kept roaming around. I think he had a minigun,
And switching
so it's not
teams.
like he could run anyway. And he had this massive suit, right? Because he knew he was going to be getting shot nonstop because he's, you know, invulnerable. So anyway, it seemed like a better option because it was like a simpler rule set for everyone. Like, okay, we know he can't die no matter what,
Yeah.
but we want to
Self-explanatory.
change the colors, yeah, to have him fight for our team.
So I've done 2 events as a Juggernaut, and both of them had similar rule sets. The second event I did was actually themed after gangs of New York, so we were all kind of like a 1920s to 30s, 40s era kind of
Yeah.
get-ups, and those rules were a grenade killed me at 15 feet, easy grenades. 40 millimeter launchers killed me, so even like the shower shells if they were close,
Oh, okay.
and also Plate of the Pain. That
Don't
was
forget
simple.
you had one other rule. Don't forget.
Which was
had
our head zone for the Juggernaut was like a little tin can they gave us, like a soda can crushed up.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I was told to put it right on my chest.
Yeah.
So I put it right on my chest. It was zip tied right there.
Yeah.
And then there were originally 4 teams turned into 3, and each team had a Juggernaut. So that was
Holy
fun.
shit.
But I was the only
Yep.
Juggernaut in armor. Everyone else was pretty fleshy. So
Oh,
they
damn.
they hid their cans like in their arm, like the arm you shoulder your gun in. They, like some
Ooh.
questionable things. It was
Like
whatever.
you're
It was a
trying to
fun
hide it, but
day.
you couldn't hit it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun day. The
It was a very fun day.
Hammerfall
So what they should
rules.
do is the Juggernaut that's caught cheating should take that can and have to strap it to his nutsack. You know,
Ooh,
like down, like where his zipper is.
I like that.
I like that.
I think they just ended up making him like put it in a better spot, but I do really like
Yeah.
that.
They
That
did.
is-
They did make him put it in the correct spot eventually.
Like, hey, Juggernaut only dies if you shoot him in nut shots. Okay.
I would have
Don't
been
even
ready for
move the
that.
can. Don't even move the can there. Just let
Oh,
let
God.
the announcement ring.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
I mean, Tony
That's
could
where
vouch
the
for me on
pain kicks
this.
in.
I'm pretty good with nut shots, Tony.
I think that's why Connor's mushroom thing over here is blazing red up top.
It's all
here.
sad.
Oh, give me a tag in launcher for the talk round. I'll nut tap anybody.
That mushroom is a target, and that target he usually hits with 40 mics. I've witnessed it.
Oh shit.
That man is evil.
I've actually got a big announcement that I've decided to hold off on saying even to the rest of my team. I've got
Uh-oh.
something
Oh, boy.
new coming in the mail. I'm a little upset at how much it costs for hazard shipping, but
Mm.
I may have a tag-in launcher of my own coming soon.
Oh shit.
Oh,
no.
Like the
okay.
actual
Connor, you didn't.
the one that mounts
I
under,
might
under
have.
barrel,
Yes.
No,
$500
I know
one or whatever,
exactly.
$600 one.
No, more than that. It's more than that.
Is
I
it
know how
really?
much
They're
that
up
thing
there.
costs.
Dude, those things are awesome though. We reviewed one on our channel. One of the one of our guys on our channel, like a viewer that lives in another state, sent us the actual really expensive launcher and like a bunch of tag-in rounds to try
Damn.
out
That's
to
dope.
review on, and then I sent it back to him. But anyway, so yeah, okay, those things are awesome, dude.
That's awesome.
What Connor might
Oh,
forget,
that's gonna be fun.
or maybe he doesn't forget.
So when are you getting it?
At the moment, I have no idea. I don't really check shipping. I like to surprise myself.
Gotcha.
Where I just kind of hit confirm and then I'll screenshot the tracking number, but I just never check it. So a couple months probably because I got
Okay.
paid yesterday.
Nice. Well, that'd be cool. That'd be a cool addition to your team.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Who just
Can't
jinxed
wait.
me?
Give me a soda.
Motherfucker, Connor. I'll buy you a beer in Deep Rock Galactic. How about that?
Fuck yeah, baby. Had to clarify. Deep Rock Galactive. I'm underage. He will never buy me a beer outside of video games.
No, never. Not
Never.
No,
Never.
no.
Never.
I'll just go to a
Of course,
Texas
of
Roadhouse.
course.
That doesn't happen.
I mean, that's illegal. You can't do that.
Connor, if my camera was on, you would have seen my eyes just light up like I caught that.
So Billy and shit, I forgot your name, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Just
me?
call him the rookie.
Yeah, Rook's fine. Justin, Jay, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you guys' nicknames. That's whatever you want me to call you. That's cool. So how did Billy or Ace? How did you get started in airsoft? You said.
So I started back in 2016 for the local field I played at. They had a fundraiser called Operation Iron Chair,
Yeah.
and it was to raise money for somebody to get them a wheelchair. And I felt like it was a really good cause. I grew up playing Call of Duty, so I wanted to try airsoft, and wound up loving it. However many years later, I'm still in it. I'm making my own gear. I got a gun by War Dog. He built me up this Calico.
Nice.
This is actually, I don't know exactly what he put in it, but it looks like a Honda, runs like a Ferrari.
Nice.
I love it.
It looks like an ARP9.
Looks like a Honda.
Building.
That's wow. I feel a little bit some type of way, but okay.
Dude must have a Honda. Okay.
This looks more like a Honda.
He's building my other rifle right now. Actually, that's
This one's the Honda.
yes, that's the
Gotcha.
Honda. And then this is
That one's the Honda. That's the Nissan Altima right there.
That's
Less
the
than
Nissan
considering
Altima.
it
And
doesn't
I'm
have a
doing
matching paint job.
I'm doing someone's sniper rifle right now. His whole trigger thing was wobbly as hell. It was like this, but the entire trigger unit was doing that. So that was fun. It was easy.
and then this is the rigs I make. This is actually version 1 right now.
Yeah.
It's a mix between a plate carrier and a chest rig. You have the option of putting in a front plate, elastic mag shingles. Everything's Velcroed.
Nice.
Nice little foam pad on the back, and then closes like a cummerbund. If anybody's interested, you can DM me on Instagram at _ace06. And then I'll give you an information with whatever measurements I need for sizing for you. And yeah, let's make something happen.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll have these links in the description as well, and in the post for Instagram. Okay. So that's another thing I forgot to tell you. So if you have something you want to promote, promote it. Obviously, your team, the events, whatever you guys are involved with. If Ace, like you're doing that kind of thing. If you have a store, if you have a service, you provide. War Dog, like if you have people ship guns to you to fix or upgrade or something, you can promote that as well, like where people can get in touch with you and all that kind of stuff too. So
Yeah.
we'll go over all that stuff. Like I always do that at the very end too. Like, hey, where can everybody find all your stuff? That way that somebody is, driving down the road, they're listening to this, they can hear it, but they can also go later on and go to the description on all the different platforms, whatever, and click on a link,
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
Awesome,
so
helpful.
you got Ace. You got a bunch of tattoos as well. What do you got going on here? You got a skull on your right shoulder.
Yeah, so I got
Holy shit! You got a
full sleeve on this arm.
yeah.
This whole arm is protectors or protection symbols from different cultures or
Gotcha.
different religions or however you want to imagine it. This whole arm is just mischief arm, whatever I wanted to get, I got.
Yeah.
But
Tiger paw and a.
yeah, I actually drew 90% of my own tattoos.
Really?
Yeah. But
Okay, so you're an artist too. Nice.
yeah.
Okay. That's cool, man. Now, what was your first one?
My first one was this one right here, something from my grandmother.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I know. I talk to a lot of people that have a lot of tattoos, and I love hearing their stories about them because tattoos are like scars, man. They got a unique story for each of them most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just it's like, oh, I just felt like getting something, and I just picked something, whatever. My daughter and son-in-law, my youngest daughter's 22. She just got married last year, and all her husband and her do is go to metal concerts and get tattoos. That's it. If they're not at a metal concert this weekend, they're probably getting a tattoo. Okay. So
I'm jealous.
Oh, yeah.
That was me. If I wasn't at Airsoft, I was getting tattoos.
So are a little jealous right now.
We were at a wedding last weekend with them, and it was my son-in-law's cousin got married, so all the family's there and stuff, and we're all talking. And every time I see this dude, which is every couple weekends, he's like, "Okay, Ice Nine Kills and Black Veil Brides, whatever, they're coming to whatever, like Greenville, here in South Carolina." And he's like, on whatever, October something, you want to go? And I'm like, they always invite us to the concerts. We've gone to like 3 metal concerts. Me and my wife have gone to 3 metal concerts with my daughter and son-in-law. So it's fun. It's fun, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I just went and saw Disturbed like a month ago.
Yeah.
And that was super fun. It was just Ginger, Breaking Benjamin, and Disturbed, and that was a really awesome concert. And then I stepped away from the metal this week, my buddy got me took me to a concert for my birthday, and we saw Greta Van Fleet, which is basically like new age Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it. Good band.
Yeah, if you give them a listen, you're gonna listen to them and go, that is Led Zeppelin to a T.
Nice.
And I can't ever get that out of my head, ever. Ever since I heard it. But they're really good, and they're a really talented band too, no less. The guitarist was taking the guitar and throwing it over his shoulder and playing it behind his back with one hand, and the lead singer's vocals are actually insane. The notes he'll hit and how long he'll hold them for in real life is insane. I have to say, in terms of like modern day rock and roll, they bring that 80s style kind of back to life.
That's cool.
Yep, but they also have a bit of a gentle side too, so they're kind of hippie-ish, if you get what I mean. So they'll rock out, and then they'll just be complete hippies in the next song. But yeah, those I've seen a couple concerts recently. I haven't been to in a while, and then last month I was like, time to start going again.
Right.
And then
somebody that plays up in your guys' area, Jake Lures, he's the lead singer of August Burns Red. He's part of, who is it? The Milsim you guys just went to, Hammerfall. Who puts that on again?
Grimnir Tactical.
Grimnir.
And Hammerfall,
so I had the owner of Grimnir. Him and Jake kind of started it. I can't remember the guy's name, his first name, but I think his nickname is Rabbit. His call sign's Rabbit. From Grimnir. So I had him on. We talked about it, and then I've had a couple people tell me that listen to metal music and stuff that follow Grimnir and all that. That he's the lead singer of August Burns Red. We actually, our last concert was just a few months ago. We went to see them here, or it was actually like an hour away in North Carolina, and he was there. So obviously, but yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool to see all this.
We did the last event that we heard about this. Me and War Dog heard about this. War Dog brought it to my attention, and
I saw.
I think the last event that we ran into him at that we can recognize him was Operation Brimstone when we went down to Panthera in West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was 2021.
Yep.
Did you guys? I don't know if you follow him on Instagram, but he did a challenge over the summer. I forget what it was. It was a certain amount of, I think they were doing a charity run, and it was a certain amount of donations for this charity. It might have been for veterans or children, something like that, some kind of good cause. And if he had certain increments. If he hit this, 2,500, whatever, or 500, he's going to eat an onion, a raw onion, like an apple. Okay, so he did that live on Instagram. So I watched that. The whole thing was all these different things leading up. It was, I think the last one was his bandmate, his band member, one of his band members, who doesn't know how to tattoo, was going to tattoo something on his arm or something like that. Okay. and the guy's not an artist or a tattooist. So, but he ate an onion, and then he shaved his beard. So he's bald and has this big full beard, right? So he shaved his beard to where he just has this giant handlebar mustache. It was crazy. So I didn't see the tattoo one. I don't know if he ever got that, but anyway, it was fun. So
that sounds hilarious.
So FNG, the fucking new guy over here, right? The rookie. So when did you start Airsoft, and how did you find this team?
Oh, shit. So I don't know. I must have been maybe 9 or 10. I don't know. I never even heard of Airsoft before, so the whole thing was crazy news to me. I just I remember I was obsessed with Nerf guns and shit back when I was a little kid. So, and I actually had a neighbor who was maybe 6 years older, 7 years older than me at the time. Maybe I've lost on how old he was, but he was considerably older than me though. Anyway, he was a teenager and I was a kid. But he used to always see me out in the yard and shit, playing with my Nerf guns and shit. And one day he came running over. He was like, "I want to show you something real, something a little bit more, next step up." And he brought, I remember the gun and everything. He brought over, it was like a fully decked out MP5, like one of the Tokyo Marui ones, and it
Holy
was
shit.
It was sick, yeah, because it turned out I didn't even know at the time, but like he was like a ref at like OG Cousins out in Quorum at the time, I think they were. But yeah, so like he was deep into it, and he's the one actually who introduced me to it and everything and got me into it. I used to start going with him on the weekends and shit. Eventually I ended up building up my own little arsenal. I had a whole bunch of stuff. I had shit, fucking War Dog has one of them right now, that P90 I gave him. As one of like
That's a little
one
out
of
of
the
my
first
reach.
guns I
I'd
got.
grab it, but
Yeah, that was
He's
like one of the
working
first
on it?
ones I got. Gave it to him.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I was into it for a
no,
while.
I'll grab it.
Like 6-7 years I was into it, and then I took a break for a little while. I had some things going on in my personal life. I couldn't afford the hobby no more. I didn't have the time for it no more.
Yeah.
I wasn't even living in the U.S. for a while. I was up in Canada, and it's like full band up there, so there was no airsoft anywhere, anything
Fucking
like that.
commies, man. I know.
Right? Fucking
Depressing
whack.
place to be.
It was
Fucking
horrible. There was none of it. But
That's
and I
crazy.
ended up, after a few years living up there and shit, I came back down to the U.S. and this was recent. This was just like maybe like 5 months ago. And I went to high school with Billy here, and we were pretty good friends in high school, and we used to do airsoft back then and shit too. So I hit him up and I was like, "Hey man, you still do airsofting and like blah 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 all that shit." And he was like, "Yeah." I ended up meeting up with him after how many years up at Strikeforce. We played some games. I met all the guys, and he was like, "Yo, what do you think? Like, would you want to join the team?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. Like, I'm just kind of doing my own thing right now. It'd be cool to get back into it again." So yeah, that's how that all happened. And here I
Okay.
am, all the boys. Gotten to know most of them now. So
Oh, that's cool, man. Hell yeah.
yeah. So it was good.
That's
I had a good friend that was already in the team, So
right. Well, it sounds like if you were going through something, and obviously you had to move out of the country, and then you come back. So it's kind of cool that you were able to get with a group of guys like this. You got camaraderie, you got some hobby to do. It'll take all your finances forever, but at least you got something to do. Okay. But, and you have, and that, this camaraderie thing, a lot of people don't realize, man, when you get out of high school. So getting out of high school, I use that as a reference because that's kind of like this coming of age. Like you grow, okay, I'm going to be independent.
Yeah.
You ain't a little kid anymore. You're not listening to mom and dad anymore, right? They don't know everything, all right?
Yeah.
Like you realize at like 12 and 13, like they don't know shit. And then, they're just winging it. And so you're kind of getting out on your own. You're doing stuff and you go, oh shit, like, okay, like being independent's awesome. And then you go to work every day and you're like, okay,
Man, this shit sucks.
dude, this
I'm
could
just being a
be
kid.
like I feel like I'm just working and coming home. What do? Play video games a little bit, fucking pass out, go late to work again. Okay. Rushing to get to work and then come home and play video games and pass out. Like you do that so many times. You're like, dude, okay, I need to find something, man. Like this kind of sucks. And
Shit,
you
you're
got to
not
have a
kidding.
purpose. You got to have this camaraderie, especially if you played sports in high school. You miss that kind of team camaraderie. You can't get it anywhere else. You can't even get it when you're playing online with each other. You can get a little bit of it because of the social, like the talking, talking with
Yeah.
your team. But there's something that happens with us, with people, when we're close in proximity to each other. Like we give off those the vibes, or the frequency that we put out and all that kind of shit. Like you vibe off of each other, and when you're all there for the same purpose, and it's a positive thing, right? Most airsoft games and people I've talked with, they're like, this is like my cool down time, man. This is how I deal with shit. This is how I get rid of stress. This is where I feel like I'm at home, that kind of shit. So they really, that's one of the biggest common themes I've heard of is the camaraderie part. And you can't get that anywhere else. Like there's a lot of sports that you can do as an adult when you get out of high school and get out of college or whatever, or out of the military. You can go golfing, you can go bowling, if you can get enough people to get a softball team or some shit like that, you can get on, church softball team or something just to do something with a group of people.
Beer
And
league.
yeah, right. And darts. I know the axe throwing thing's getting big. So there's not a whole lot that you can do that's within a budget, and that people, a lot of people are willing to do every couple weekends or something. But airsoft is that thing that's like, okay, let's do it, man. Let's go. Like, there's no commitment. You don't have to go every, weekend or whatever, unless you're on a speed soft team that are going to tournaments, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's really cool, man. It's cool. But it's good that you had a place to come back to. I mean, you didn't know, but you got into something right away after this kind of maybe a negative thing in your life or something.
Yeah.
That's
I will
good.
say though that you touched a little bit on the airsoft aspect of it, and one of the really unique things I find about it is like there's so many different like levels, like almost like categories within airsoft itself. If you want to just go have a casual time, you can go and find an indoor place and just throw all caution to the wind and just play however you want with whoever you want. It don't matter. Or if you want to maybe be a little bit more serious, you can go and do one of these milsim events. Or if you want to get competitive, you can go and do speed QB on speed soft tournaments and stuff. Like, I always liked
That was me.
hobbies or sports. If you want to even, a lot of people consider airsoft a sport. I'm one of them people too. So I like how there's so many different aspects to what you do. I think
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the unique thing.
Yeah, I've said it numerous times on here. So anyone that's heard this, like, 100 times, I apologize. But it really is like all those different things you can do, like I named golf, bowling, all these different things as an adult. That take some kind of physical, like get out of the house and go do this. It's one of the only ones that I've seen that has that is that versatile. That's that like diverse, like the speed soft, the milsim, the different levels of that. If you just want to open play, okay, hey, let's just go hang out. I just want to blow off some steam today and blast everybody, whatever, So and get shot. Sometimes pain is a great like stress reliever. It really is. Okay, like physical pain, it takes away, it takes your mind off of all the bullshit going on. So but yeah, it's a multifaceted kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, cool, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So now what you said you gave your P90 to War Dog. Is he fixing it, or just is he working on upgrades
I
or
just
something?
I just gave it to him, out of respect for what he does for the team. I figured, something might, he should get something every once in a while from somebody. So I just said, here you go, buddy. Like, take
Nice.
it. He did some. He brought. I'm calling it the Frankenstein M4 because it's been brought back to. It's been sitting in a closet for like 10 plus years. The thing was rusted. The shit did not work, missing pieces. And
Really?
I gave it to him. I gave him $100, and that shit is singing now. Like that, he turned it into my dream gun. And I wish I could show you on camera right now, but it's at my house. But nah, I'm gonna be bringing it to Yellow Dog, and it's gonna be, it's gonna take some bodies that day. It's going to back from the
Nice.
dead.
Well, let me ask you this: what you two guys there? Where are you in, like a studio kind of thing? Like, this is a cool background. You got a guitar hanging up on the wall. Is that right? And you got some
That
lights.
that's my girlfriend's ukulele, and then we're actually under my bed right now.
Okay.
These are just LED lights.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool, man. And you got
It's
a
an extra
decent
setup.
mic.
Yeah, I
I
got
think it works good. Now, the audio sounds really good, man. Like, I think that's one of the first mics that we had when we first started the channel, and I got rid of them all and got this headset because I move around too much. I can't sit here and talk into a microphone like a lot of these podcasters do. I'm like, how do
yeah.
they sit that long and not move their head? Like, what the fuck? I can't even talk like that, bro. I'm
I'm a
Italian.
fidgeter too.
Okay, like, bro, I fucking talk like all over the place, All right, who's up next? So Connor, how did you get started in airsoft?
Kind of the same story. It was, for the longest time, I thought that Nerf guns were the coolest thing.
They really are cool.
I
The ones they
I
have
had
now.
that.
It's Nerf or nothing.
It's
Never
true.
know.
I mean, to be fair, there are still 2 Nerf guns that sit amongst all my airsoft guns that I
Yeah.
have brought to games.
Good.
But yeah, no, I played for a lot of years, just like there'd be a couple of friends, we'd hang out after school or something, and it'd just be shooting each other with Nerf guns in the backyard. And then one of my buddies, my neighbor, went online and got his first computer and just found Evike and ordered some like starter kit with like 2 Springer rifles. And then it was same thing in the backyard, doing that for a while. And then at around the age of like 14, I'd say, I met a couple of guys and we started like maybe 8, 9 of us playing in one dude's big backyard. And then up until I want to say 2 years ago, or maybe it was last summer, my memory's horrible. I found out about a local field. I went down and played my first actual big game that wasn't just in someone's grandma's forested backyard. And I enjoyed that. And I remember that for it was a couple of months where it was just I was going pretty much every other weekend, going and playing airsoft up at this field. And there was one day that I believe it was War Dog and Hazard were at the field, and Magumby. It was the 3 of them. They came down for I can't remember the first game that I saw them at. I want to say Gangs of New York, the first time that we hosted one of those. And
it wasn't the first time; it was the second time. If that's what you remember,
yes.
Mhm.
And then they invited me to come out to Operation Hammerfall, and it was kind of a surreal moment for me because I went from only like exclusively playing with like 8 people in someone's backyard to I am 3 states away playing with like 300 people at a huge organized event, all in the span of like 6 months.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but like just all the different aspects of that game in general. There were,
yes,
I mean, you had UAV drones, you had juggernauts, you had trucks with guns on them, you had a D-Day beach invasion. Like there was so many, like, and then put that into perspective. Not only was this a giant 300-person organized event, but you had all these like fantasy ideas that a backyard airsofter would be like.
Yeah, there's a mech suit walking down. We're loading into the back of U-Haul vans, get dropped off in the forest like it's a spaceship dropping us off. But that was actually that game at Hammerfall was the game that I got my invitation to join the Valkyrie Directives. Well, earned it at least. Didn't quite get invited.
Yeah.
No, you didn't get invited for a while. You got our respect that day.
It also kind of cemented me as the team grenadier because there was a point in the day where my chest rig completely fell apart. I tried modifying it the first day, and then the second day, tried modifying it at the campfire at night. Might have cut something I wasn't supposed to, and about halfway through the second day, my chest rig just completely falls off me. And I think, all right, this is fine. I've got cargo pockets. I can just load, a couple of mags and grenades into my cargo pockets. We'll rock and roll. It'll be whatever. My gun stops working.
Oh shit!
So I'm left there.
War Dog shot it.
I'm sitting there with.
He doesn't know about that.
My M16 that's built like a goddamn javelin. It's so long. About 16 hand grenades and a pistol that's probably got 8 shots in it and no spare mag. And my 2 options were to walk off the field and go fix all my stuff, or say, fuck it, take my gloves off, put the rings of the grenades on each finger so that I could carry all 14 grenades in my hand like this, just hanging them from their pin.
Holy shit.
And I'm going to sprint wearing literally just my clothes, which were civvy clothes at the time because we had to play a civvy team, and just run in civilian clothing with a hand covered in grenades and just rip them off and throw them. And I did that for like 20 minutes, ran out of grenades, and went, all right, I'm going to go fix my shit.
Did you get any kills with your grenades?
Had to.
I got a couple of kills up in like the little bunker areas that we were at, and this was, as the game with the mechs, put a mech down on his knees for 30 seconds and then got the fuck out of there.
Okay.
As Wardog said.
At least you didn't suck. You know that patch
run.
says just don't suck? Okay, at least you didn't suck.
Exactly.
That's good.
And now I'm here with these guys, and I'm finding myself spending more and more money on this hobby with every passing paycheck.
Right.
I just spent more money than I'd like on a new rifle specifically for this event. I picked up a what is the website?
Oh, what, the AK?
Amped. Yeah, I went to Amped and got a custom built HPA AK.
What?
Oh yeah, here. Let me turn
Is
that
wood? Is that real wood furniture?
Yes, sir.
Bro. Nice. Oh, you got a nice setup too, man. You got the sound deafening panels on your walls. What do you do? Stream?
No, I make music.
Oh, okay.
Music for a couple of years. Nothing any Christian household would allow in any regards. The real quick synapse on the music thing is I've always liked freestyling. I like to learn rap lyrics and try and recreate and go with the song. In high school, I got into freestyling, and there was a couple of years where I was getting picked on basically for a lot of different things. And I was like, all right, I got an idea. I'm just gonna put it all in a rap song. And I did that, put it on SoundCloud. It's currently sitting at 100,000 plays, all of which just from my small hometown.
That's
I figured, this is a fun hobby. So I set all this up.
Good
and
for
I've
you.
been making music out of my dad's basement for a while.
So you do freestyle. Have you heard of do you follow this guy on TikTok, Harry Mack?
I went to one of his concerts and I have one of his shirts in my closet.
No way. Dude,
yes,
do you get on TikTok? You need to get on TikTok live and scroll through. He just randomly invites somebody on there. Have you seen those?
Yeah. I've been following him since his Omegle series where he would hop on Omegle and just whoever he matched with start freestyling about them and their environment.
Yeah.
He'd have a field day with you, man.
With me? I don't know shit. Yeah. I know it's
Connor,
fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
Connor, you're just out here as the Fall River Bee Rabbit, aren't you?
I do have several friends from Fall River, and I've heard that before. Yes.
Nice.
Shout out Ryan.
That's cool, man. Hell yeah. Well, you know what? You'll have to send me your SoundCloud link or whatever link for your music stuff, and I'll put it on here too. If people want to.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be fun. So, War Dog, you've got so you're working on guns. You upgrade and fix and all that kind of shit. Have you? What's the best or the most badass gun whatever you've worked on that you are most proud of? What's something that you took from a piece of crap and made it made it better?
So well, the gun I'm most proud of is my personal gun, and that's actually the first legitimate airsoft gun I purchased when I started airsofting around 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Was a G&G combat machine, and it wasn't the Raider that is really common. It was the Mark 18 knockoff combat machine. And that workhorse has been perfect for years. And 2 years ago, I decided, you know what? I'm upgrading everything. And I mean everything. The whole gearbox shell, the bearings, gears, literally every port you could think of internally, I've replaced it, lubed it, redone it, reprogrammed it. The gun is from the 99% from the ground up rebuilt and just revamped for no reason other than I wanted to.
Yeah. So it's way better than it was.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
But respect to G&G, that thing never broke down on me, never seemed to kind of get sluggish and wear out. That thing never gave up on me.
Nice.
That's what I'm most proud of. Probably second most proud of was no offense to Connor here, kind of a piece of crap was a ACR that was kind of just a shell.
Yeah.
And that got rebuilt much similar like my combat machine. Internals, MOSFET, motor, everything. And that one I gave my first ever custom paint job on. And I think it's pretty good for my first time. Pretty good.
Solid.
It's solid.
It's solid.
Nice.
It's not like I want to say Chaos Customs. It's nothing like professional grade, but it's good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of these guys, like you said earlier, self-taught. Like that's when I started working on these guys' guns. When they started, two of my sons. In case you guys don't know the history of our channel, the YouTube channel started. I was coming out of being paralyzed with an illness. I was healthy my whole life. Went, military, like high school, sports, active. Went in the military, Marine Corps for 4 years, and then afterwards, my wife and I started having a bunch of kids, and I worked a shit ton of overtime. And the last 20 years of my life was a blur because of teenagers and 70 hours a week. Okay. And football games. And my two daughters were in dance. And one of the daughters was like on a trampoline dance team, right? Competition. So, state to state going, I tried to go to all the, all these different things, me and my wife. So, and then out of the blue, just completely paralyzed, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, laying in bed with an autoimmune disorder called Guillain-Barré syndrome. That lasted a while, getting better from that. Once I was able to start walking again and using a mouse on the computer, I came down here. I needed something to do. Started a YouTube channel. I started actually 2 or 3 before I started the Trifecta Airsoft one because I needed, keep my mind busy and stuff. So anyway, 2 of my older sons got into airsoft with a good friend of theirs that they knew since middle school. And this is 4 years ago. And I said, hey, that's a cool thing. I didn't know anything about airsoft except when they were like 10 and 12, got in those little clear springers, pistols run around the backyard. And so they showed me the guns and I was like, holy shit. Like I didn't know they make replicas because I played paintball back in the 90s and I thought it was going to be similar type of guns, so they brought home these guns and I was like, dude, I'm going to start another YouTube channel for this and I'll film all your shit. And they were like, yeah, that's cool, So that's how we started. We started doing a mystery unboxing or mystery boxes, right? Unboxings and reviews on all the guns that we would get in those. So then 2 years ago, like 2 years in our channel, everybody got busy, myself included. I was able to get out and go to work again. So I started working and getting in the house. So our channel just kind of came to a screeching halt. Like we stopped getting mystery boxes. These guys, they bought houses, they got married. They, JP has, he's got custody of his son, a lot of times. So it's, everything changed and our channel kind of stopped. And I was like, shit, man, I was already interacting with all these people on our Discord and commenting on videos, so I'd reach out to people and stuff. So I was like, I'm just going to talk to people. I've been doing it already on our Discord. So I started a podcast and it's been 2 years, just about. So, and that's kind of where we ended up now. That's why I'm the only one on the channel now, because all these guys are busy. I asked them like 2 months ago, hey, you guys want to do some videos? Yeah, we want to do. And then they haven't played Airsoft in like a year and a half, okay? And I was like, so why don't you guys come over? We'll do. Yeah. We'll do. It's one of those things like we can never find time to get together and do it again. So, but anyway, that's where all this came from when we started, that's how I ended up on the podcast. So I didn't know shit about podcasting. All I knew was Joe Rogan. Okay. Like I didn't know any other podcast. Actually I did. I knew some video gaming ones years ago. So One Up and a couple other ones that I followed for like video games and stuff. But yeah. So anyway, that's how we ended up here. And so it's cool, man. It's good to, get teams on here. I love, talking with you guys and doing that kind of shit. But yeah, man. So when War Dog, when you started, you said you were self-taught, and when I started fixing these guys' guns, okay, they'd go to an event, they'd come back and like, oh, this thing won't shoot anymore. I'm like, let me look at it, because what I used to do before I got sick was work. I worked in factories for like 25 years, and I was a maintenance guy. So I worked on machines. I was a process tech as well for plastic extrusion, but I would fix all the machines as well. So I had, tools. I knew how to tinker on stuff. I fixed all of our own cars and stuff. So they brought these guns in. I'm like, let me see this thing, man. I can fix this thing. It can't be that hard. So I popped open my first AEG, didn't look up a video. I'm like, I don't need no fucking video. I know what I'm doing. I got tools, okay? I pop this thing open, springs go flying, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I felt the tension. I wasn't dumb, okay, but I was like, okay, I could feel it, I'm like, yeah, I'm just prying it open just a tiny bit. Bing! So the trigger spring, fucking anti-reversal spring, which is hard as shit to find, go flying everywhere. And so
That's
that was
all
my
she
introduction
wrote.
to it. And I'm like, I look up videos and I'm like, damn, there's not really a lot of good videos that show the, up close. Like there was a couple channels. I think one was
Yeah,
actually called Airsoft Tech. And he had been doing it for quite a long time.
I
And he
know.
had
I
some
know
really
the
close-up
airsoft tech.
videos.
Yeah.
Right. So, and explained everything, really well. So I was like, oh, maybe I do need some videos. But yeah, a lot of airsoft techs are self-taught because there's not really a whole lot out there. I've heard that there is EVIC has like a schooling something or whatever that you go through. Like their techs have to go through this training. But yeah, it's not like a lot of people just break this shit open and see what happens. Okay, let me see what I can do, without
Yeah.
really understanding a whole lot of it, of how it works.
Yeah. That's very similar to how I started. My brother, my friend, my best friend, who got me into airsoft, had this AK that I now have a duplicate of that AK because I love the way it looked. And our local field worked one week. The next week we brought it. All of a sudden it's too hot. So they tell him something like $30 to change the spring. He's like, fuck that. Brings it back home, takes his AK apart, blows his spring like across his room, and he just
That's
gave
awesome.
up immediately. He just closed it. He's like, nah, dude, my AK's fucked. And and that was about 10 years ago. To
Okay.
move on with that, and then I didn't start teching until like 2 years ago, and I had a full metal APS M4 that I learned kind of the hard way that APS, like the brand APS, their internals kind of suck.
Yeah.
Like their seals and their triggers, everything just kind of goes to shit really quickly with those.
Yeah.
So I never put a MOSFET in. I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what Mike did. I didn't want to ruin that. So I went into another local field here on Long Island and had them put a MOSFET in. The gun worked great, but they changed something on me. They changed my spring because my gears and the motor weren't like working right. I
Yeah.
don't know why they had to do it, but they did it. And then a few months down the line, I'm like, something's not right. Like it worked. So I open it up to put a new spring in, do what I have to do to get it to shoot where I want it to shoot.
Mhm.
And I see that the wires on this MOSFET are disintegrated, like chewed up in the gears. Like
Oh
it
my
wasn't secured
God.
properly. And I'm not perfect.
They didn't run the wires back around like they're supposed to,
They-
or something.
I don't know. It was a shop. He just kind of does this and churns these out daily, so you get it done. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
perfect. Billy's here gun had a similar thing, but was fixed before it was ever catastrophic. And I saw that, and I'm like, I'm never paying like $120 again to have my gun be a paperweight. Like, I'll do it myself, fuck it up myself, and pay for the part
And
myself,
learn from it.
and
Right.
spend less money.
So
And,
look, if you want to learn more about like shimming, right? Like the importance of shimming and how to shim and the best way to shim. There's a guy that I talked to like a month ago, maybe a couple months ago. Russell's Customs is his Instagram. He has a really good up close, I'm talking really clear up close videos of how to know how to shim. Okay, so because I asked him, because I've tried shimming, and I'm like, I don't know, like, what the fuck, like, how do you check it once you put the two pieces back together, and the gearbox shell. And he's like, oh, so he actually showed me on the podcast too, and we actually played his video from his Instagram. So the little there's a gap, there's a hole in the down by where the trigger comes out. You can actually spin the gears. You can reach in there and spin the gears, and so he shims perfect, and he gets these things running single. He does the DSGs and the single ones. Right, there you go. And he's tried a lot of different things. He's getting like 36 to 40 rounds a second out of single sector gears. I mean, just fucking lasers, bro. And these things sound. You know what he did? The other thing he does, he's really smart with the battery stuff. I didn't know about these. So he tried the brushless, or not the batteries, I'm sorry, the motors, okay? So he switched to brushless motors, and there's a lot more torque on it when they start up. So this thing, they sound fucking awesome. If you want to get close, if you want your AEG to sound close to like an electric blowback or a gas blowback, get one of these brushless motors that he does, or get a build from him, because this thing sounds like visceral, like it's pop, pop, it's really cool. And then on full auto, it sounds amazing.
It just rips.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. So anyway, but yeah, if you want to, I try to get, connect a lot of these techs that build and custom, people that do the customs, for the pistols and stuff too. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's a process to learn, man. It's a lot of shit to learn.
Yeah, and shimming is probably the most tedious out of all of it, because for me it's trial and error. I actually learned like the basics from the Airsoft tech, and I went from there. But as I'm doing it, I'm putting I keep track of the millimeter, the sizing of that shim I put. I try to keep track of it, what gear it's on, and do that for each gear. Put it all together. Get my hand in there and make sure, see if it's spinning first off.
Right.
See if it's spinning quietly, or at least acceptable. And then over here on this is bushings, but you can actually push the axle on the gears. So if your gear is wiggling around like a hot dog in a hallway, it's not shim good. If
it's like
not
Connor
moving,
and Connor with some random girl or whatever, it's like,
Whoa!
she's like, all right, go ahead. He's like, I'm already there. What are you talking about?
Through, pull out, look down, realize I'm
Hey, you're the youngest in here, bro. I gotta bust your balls, okay?
Oh,
That's fair. I get this shit.
We're a
all
ball
day at
busting
work.
team. We are a ball busting
no, we are.
team.
We're a 100% ball busting team.
Hell yeah. So Tony, so what? I don't even have I can't pull up your thing. Okay, you got, what is this? What is your profile pic? A baby seal?
That is
Seal.
believe it or
It looks
not,
like a white
that is.
baby seal. You know those little baby seals?
I do know exactly what you're talking about.
That's what
No,
it looks
not
like.
at all. That is a minimized photo from when I was maybe 17 years old, with a can jam over my face, and all you see is just like my eyes and forehead through the slit of the can jam.
Nice.
I missed that game. God damn it.
That's funny.
You're part of
We'll
a
bring
better
a
game
can-
now.
We'll bring a can jam to the next campsite.
Let's fucking go.
I'll
I'm not.
participate.
I'm by no means. I'm not good at can jam, but I fucking love can jam.
I'm good at can jam. Let's go. Anyway,
We should play hot potato with the pea grenade.
Oh shit.
I filled mine
Oh,
with
shit.
glitter. We're all fucked.
oh, you like your Milsom kit? Watch this. Bedazzled.
Pink and purple glitter. course
Oh
and
shit!
time.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, this is only a handful of the goons that I have.
Yeah, how many people
And
are on the Valkyrie team?
so the
What'd
Valkyrie
you say,
Directive
14?
has 14, so this is 5 out of 14 of these nut jobs.
Yeah.
But I love every single one of them, and I got stories for everyone except with the rookie over here. Not
Not
we
yet.
haven't
He's got to
exploited his.
develop that.
Yup.
We'll be making some stories next weekend, boys.
Yes, we will. Um, I think one of my favorite stories, though, of Connor up here, if I have to say something about everybody, my favorite story of Connor is when we turned him into a human mortar. So
Yep.
I threw him. There was a piece of cover at an event, and it wasn't like a big event. He wasn't a Valkyrie yet. He was still running with us, kind of like how he was at Hammerfall. He was still running with us, and the way this went was it was just me, Magumby, and him. And we had this one ridge line where I wanted to just keep superiority. Me, Connor, and Magumby held this one entire area in town by ourselves. It was 3 of us. And I remember being hidden in this bush in the ridge line, and we had put Connor in this giant like cylinder
Now,
that was turned sideways, and we turned it vertical, and we literally threw him in the tube, and he hid there with like 10 grenades on his hand. And I would go over the radio and be like, I need you to lob a grenade about 10 yards away from you towards combat tower, and he would just, and a frag would just land at someone's feet, and no one would know where it would come from. So
Oh my
I was just
God.
watching people
Oh,
from the
that's
bushes,
smart.
and
the only
would
place
just-
that I could get attacked
It's
from
the
would
Trojan
be
horse.
a grenade coming back. Just
That
the
is
only
cool.
thing that could possibly take me out would be if someone put a grenade into the hole that I was sitting in.
Yep, no one, and that wouldn't even have happened because I would have been there shooting at them. At one point, I literally had a call out, and I was late because I had trouble figuring out what team he was on. And then when I finally realized he was on the opposite team, because I'm watching him from like 50 yards away through bushes, and I'm like, yup, and I'm like, Connor, throw it to combat tower, right? So this guy just has a frag grenade land at his feet, and now he has machine gun fire opening up on him, and then he blows up. The dude was just eviscerated, and it's all because there's a tiny human in a friggin' pipe just lobbing grenades out of a pipe like a human mortar. That is, I think, my favorite story I have of him.
That is cool. That's
And
the
then-
first. I've not heard of someone doing that for sure.
We're a
I'm
little
the
creative.
human mortar.
We tend to be very creative here. War Dog, I think we've agreed that my favorite story of us, me and him, was we were at an event. It was actually Ace's first Milsim, and it was the very last battle. Our team had to escort a scientist over to the back corner of the map from one end to the other end, and we had to keep the trail line clear. The CO said, listen, the best way we could do this is to keep the trail clear and just kind of have zigzagged defenses along the trail to keep it cornered, make sure we like clear and keep from people coming in. And he put me and War Dog, just me and War Dog, in this tiny tower, this 2-floor tower, and it was just me and him. And we held that position. I think we had the majority of the enemy team at our position for
Twice, at
45
least?
minutes straight. 45 minutes straight, we were just
Oh, I thought
either
it was
in the
two
most.
different times. It felt like
No.
that.
No, there were 2 waves. but we for like 45 minutes straight, because that's how long that final battle took place. We did not die. We held that tower,
Jesus.
and just I mean, there were people literally. I'm on the first floor,
The other team
and
must have
there was
sucked.
somebody. No, they're not a bad. They're not a
They
bad
were
team
not
in the
bad,
least. They
but
have.
it was a very
They're
defensible position, and I had a device that after that game probably caused this device to get banned there. But
What
I got to
was it?
show it. It's show and tell, right?
Oh yeah.
So I have. This is just simple, and this is my Mark One. This is my prototype. A rifle shield.
Oh shit.
Looks familiar, right?
Oh yeah.
And I had that. I was on the top of the tower with nothing but like a 1 foot opening as a window for the entire top floor.
Okay.
So it was the only way I could get shot through it. And
That
this
is
covered that
wild.
window.
That is awesome. Yeah, it reminds me of the I forget what the name of the target is. When I was in the military, you know, you when you qualify with your rifle each year, it's the one that is the closer one for like the 200 and 300 yard offhand, kneeling, and offhand and kneeling. I think those are the only two positions, and we use those little targets like that. So it's supposed to simulate somebody laying down, prone, looking at you, you know, shooting at you, whatever. So it shows like the head and shoulder kind of silhouette. And then the 500 yard one was the full size, you know, man target, whatever. But okay, so that's what it reminds me of, the shape of that thing. So you have this mounted. Is it screwed on? You have a way to screw it onto your gun?
Yeah, I have mounts that I put on my rails, and that shield slides over the rails, and I bolt it right to it. Pretty simple.
Holy shit.
It's not as efficient as the video game Siege, where Blackbeard just kind of slaps it and it comes off.
Yeah.
But I tried to make it. I tried to be reasonable. I knew what I was doing. It's a shield. It's going to block BBs, but I tried to protect the silhouette of my head while I'm aiming, and about 3 inches wide. So when I'm out in the open, I'm still dead to rights. Like, just aim low.
Sure.
But that covered that
scenario
window
for that thing.
Yeah. They'd have to gotten behind me at the tower, which our team had already locked down anyway. So the situation of my advantage and the team having our back, it was a bad time for them. It was a very fun firefight. Very fun.
I mean, I guess I really do understand why they would ban something like that, because it's, you know.
Once that happened, I'm like, there's no way. You're never going to allow this again.
But I remember there was a lot. We had to fucking fight people off. I think like 7 to 10 people at a time. And there were way too many instances where we could have bit the dust, and by luck of chance we didn't. Someone threw a grenade. Someone was on the other side of the wall I was on. I couldn't shoot them because it was a solid wall, right? So they threw a frag grenade around the corner. I was able to pick up the frag grenade, and again, by luck of chance, threw it back out the doorway, and it went through one of the steps in the stairs, because it wasn't like solid stairs, it was plank by plank, and I threw it through one of the steps of the stairs and back out. They tried to smoke me out. They put smoke grenades in there. We were still shooting them up. It was intense. They really tried to mess us up, and we went the entire
they got close
way.
Too. They got like
they were on the other side of my wall. How much do you?
Did anyone on that team ever like bitch that you guys weren't calling your hit? Like they felt like they were hitting you, but you didn't call it.
Someone dome rocked me, and out of sheer pain, like it was like bink bink, like out of sheer pain, I ducked down and put the hand up.
Yeah.
And I guess he didn't see the hand, and he yelled at me. But I'm like, no, you got me. You got me.
I ended up having to go up and revive him.
He medicked me. Yeah, he medicked me there. And then after that, nothing.
I had to go up and reach up from the first floor to grab him to medic him for the 10-second rule that was applied to the rule set. But and then I think Ace and I just go back way too much, but I think my favorite Airsoft story with him being on this team has been with Magumby's birthday party. It wasn't even at official event. We had him at our local field, and I just remember the best thing about it was he switched teams. He had switched teams, so he was against me and Magumby, and me and Magumby are clearing through the rooms, right? And we're listening to the music because Ace has a speaker clipped to his belt,
No, it's on the
right?
back of my
So
rig.
whatever,
What,
it's
like a
clipped
Bluetooth?
to Ace. Yeah, he's got a Bluetooth speaker clipped to his body.
Yeah.
So me and Magumby are moving around, and we hear the speaker, and we know he's on the other side of the wall, right?
What were you playing?
And I think we had a playlist going, and I think he had like the Modern Warfare 3 soundtrack going on. I
No
have it on
way.
video somewhere.
Oh, that's cool.
It was Magumby speaker.
Yeah, it was.
Music.
And I remember we're trying to hunt down Billy, and we hear the speaker on the other side of the wall. So we're looking directly in front of us. There's an opening at our 2 o'clock to go to the other side of the wall that's on our 3, and we hear him on our 3, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And we're about to breach, and the song ends. And before the next song comes on, this guy appears like a fucking angel of death and shoots both of us from behind. Within the 2-second time frame
Oh
of
my
silence, he had about 2-second time frame of silence. And he just ended up behind us, like he teleported. I said, the fuck is this? I ended up on my ass laughing hysterically because I just couldn't believe it. Like, I had to give it to him. Like, come on.
That's crazy.
But,
That's cool.
yeah,
So
that's...
you guys got some good gameplay, history and stories, and so who all on here right now has a YouTube channel or Instagram that you guys post like Airsoft videos or anything like that from your teams? Do each of you guys do that?
Yeah, so Billy dropped his Instagram earlier in the video when he was talking about the custom rigs. I have an Airsoft account that goes under _hazard. Wardog has one that's _Wardog. There's _Bjorn, and if you don't know how that's spelled, that's actually the Norse word for bear. We give him a lot of bear jokes. BJORN.
RNE. Mm-hmm.
No E, just
Really?
N.
Okay.
Yep, there's no E at the end of that.
I mean, yeah, I knew that.
And and then the team
Who's
page
testing you?
we post a lot of the team page that we post a lot of stuff generally is just the Valkyrie Directive. It's all one word, no capitals, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And we post I'll make a music video every now and then where it's just a montage of us doing cool shit to some music. You'll see posts of all of us. Sometimes we'll post individuals. Maybe it's a photo edit or whatever. And that's what we do on our socials. We don't have a YouTube channel yet. I always said if we were going to make a YouTube channel, we were going to do it right. We weren't going to be having a YouTube channel where it's like, oh, yeah, now here's a compilation of us at this event and a compilation of us at this event. I said if I was ever going to make a team YouTube channel, I want it to be very interactive where you have us in plain clothes doing fun stuff, and then you get to see some cool stuff that we do at the events or building kits, or maybe War Dog does a teching tutorial, and just we would want to have it be very active and have a lot of fun with it. And I just don't think at this moment in time that we have the ability to do that on a consistent basis. we want people to be able to enjoy that YouTube channel if we do it. It's not just going to be here's a 5-minute compilation of us doing this event. I don't think that's something people want to see, especially in the airsoft community. Even in the airsoft community is what I should say, because that's what every airsofter puts out.
Yeah.
So that's one reason we love your channel, is because it's not just that. You have an actual podcast, you talk to people have different opinions on stuff. I would love to have a couch where we all just a bunch of us will sit down and talk about the event, share stories about the event, kind of like a fireside story time, and then followed by a video, edit it a little bit. No, that's only you. Get your mushroom out of this idea. But you get what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to have something just to not captivate an audience or to not stand out from everyone else. I would want us to have differences. Like, you have a Tech Time with War Dog episode and showing people how to do, specifically maybe how to take apart a version 2 gearbox. Or maybe there's, the story time couch where we debrief what happened at the event and what our favorite parts were, maybe some stories.
Aww,
Story time, and maybe we'll put up a couple clips as we tell the story, because maybe one of us got that dumb shit on camera.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to
keep talking, man. I'm looking at all y'all's Instagrams right now and send you friend requests, okay, or following, whatever you call it.
Oh, that's love. Yeah, and anytime any of us post anything, all of our teammates are put in the description.
Yeah, that's what. I like that.
All of us are tagged.
I went to yours, Hazard, because I had you already on file, and then your latest Instagram post, whatever, it has all of your team members on here. So, except let's see, Billy A13. Is that your old one, or is that the right one?
That's my personal one. That's not my airsoft one.
I'll follow it anyway. It's private, but
I'm gonna accept it right now.
It's requested.
Yeah, we gotta start putting the airsoft profile in the post.
B Jorn, I did yours.
Yes, sir. And I've got quite the advancement in technology, if you'd like to hear of it, using a little bit of war history.
Yeah.
So as we know, back during the World Wars, the American hand grenade, not frag grenade, was designed to be the same size and weight as a baseball, so that any troop could use it immediately and they wouldn't have to be trained.
Everyone was familiar with it, and they could throw it. They could chuck that fucker far as hell. Yes,
exactly. Recently, I ran into the problem of I want to be able to fucking absolutely send these hand grenades as far as I possibly can, and my options were either a shit ton of money, or I get real creative with my garage. And I remembered that little fact about hand grenades being the size of, roughly a baseball. And I thought, well, what's the same size as a baseball? A tennis ball. Well, how do I make my dog's tennis ball go super far? So I tried it, and apparently you can fit a hand grenade inside of the dog toy known as a Chuck It. Which works in the fashion you just...
Wait, what?
Yep, you can fit these hand grenades perfectly inside of the holding mouth of a Chuck It. And all you do is rip and launch.
Now, which grenade is this? Which
these
brand?
Are the $10. What are these?
That's the standard EG67.
EG67s.
Yes.
Bro, what?
$10. Little cardboard.
That fits in. What is this dog thing you're talking about? What is that called?
This is a Chuck It.
Yeah.
Chuck It. They're the best dog toy, and I was lucky enough to find one that has this handle that allows it to collapse into a half piece, so I can just stuff it in a pocket.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this: what is the standard detonation time or the fuse time on a EG67? Is it long enough to where you could chuck that thing and it won't blow up in the air, or what?
It's like 3.5, 4 seconds.
Okay.
He said it's a gamble. It might be a couple views every now and then.
Blowing myself up
Oh,
a
really?
couple of times because I thought it was a dud. It varies.
Okay. Gotcha. So
On
if they go
average,
off
it's about
correctly,
3.5 seconds.
okay, 3.5 seconds.
Usually 3.5 seconds, yeah.
Okay.
But this thing rips.
If
So
you're
as long as
if
you're
you're
not sending it
Bjorn,
on a
you're luck
45
with a
degree
frag
arc.
grenade.
What's that?
I was gonna say if you're Bjorn, your luck with a frag grenade timing is that of putting Loki in a piece of cardboard. Just absolute like Bugs Bunny luck.
Yeah.
There've been some moments where I've run off a cliff and didn't fall till I looked down. So
All right, so I've got a question for you guys. Since y'all are on here, you all have enough experience in playing airsoft at different places and events or whatever. So the what the hell is that dumb rule?
Oh boy.
The
No full auto in the building.
that
Bang
one's dumb
bang.
too. That one, yeah, the bang bang rule. All right, bang bang rule. Yes or no?
Fuck
No, absolutely not.
fuck no.
Awesome.
If you
Right.
manage to get that close to me, I deserve getting hit that hard. Just
Right?
fucking shoot me.
Exactly. Okay.
I'm always
all right. So, oh, go ahead.
I'm always never mandatory bang bang rule, but courtesy.
Yeah.
You get up on me
Yeah.
and there's a barrel in the back of my neck. Yeah, you got it. Let me not get shot.
Yeah.
But,
If, you know, common courtesy, respect. If you
That's
want
it.
to, if you want to
That's
do
all.
it, go ahead. But don't
See, that's generous.
don't let
Yeah,
don't
That's generous.
let the field determine that.
Let me
I think-
just say that I always will take them. I never give them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you're
don't give
smoking
them the
so much crack.
opportunity to smoke me. I just you getting tapped in the ass, and then I'm moving on with my day.
Oh, no,
That's me. But
see,
if
on
you
that front,
give me one, I'll take it.
Yeah.
No. See, on that front, you're smoking crack. I think I speak for Billy on this as well. If you get close enough to me and you say bang bang, you have made a grave mistake because we will turn around and shoot you at any cost and speed. And Billy and I have both done it. I've seen us do it. You'll come up to us and you'll go bang bang expecting us to surrender, and we're just gonna shoot you in the worst way possible. I have pulled
If it's
a
not a
pistol out of
mandatory.
my. Yeah, it's not mandatory. I don't have to accept it, and that I think that's my biggest saving grace. Is I don't have to accept it, and you were dumb enough to say bang bang instead of shoot me. And now, as I'm sneakily pulling a 1911 out of my chest holster and putting it under my armpit to shoot you.
I mean, Hazard, you
From
remember
behind.
the
That's
last
kind of fucked
op we
up.
went to
That's
where
kind
you
of
and
fucked up.
War Dog snuck up on me?
I'm trying
Unless
to
it's
remember.
if it's somebody, yeah, if it's somebody that you know from your team and you're just kind of messing around and they're on the other team or
Oh,
something.
fuck yeah.
But if it's a real game or a milsim or something and somebody gets the drop on you and instead of shooting you or tapping you or hitting you with a knife or something, they say, hey man, I got you, or bang bang or whatever the fuck, and you turn around and shoot them, that's kind of fucked up.
It's
saying.
not a mandatory rule. If you
I get
ask
it.
me
I
personally,
get it. It's about mutual respect, though.
no, I understand. It definitely
You
could
take
be.
your medicine like a big boy because you were dumb enough to let them get behind you. Okay, how about that?
Like the
That's
way
all I feel.
You could definitely take it that way. You could
take your
definitely
nasty
take it
cough
that way.
syrup, bitch. Okay.
The way I see it, bang bang is just the airsoft equivalent to looking at me and going, "Hey, do you surrender?" And I'm like, "Surrender? The fuck do you mean?" Shh, bang.
the only way I ever take a bang bang if the barrel's in my back, in the back of my neck. Like if I feel
Oh,
the
Yeah.
barrel
If they're
against
not
me,
super close, right? Okay.
If
But
the
if they're
window
more
to
than 5
retaliate
feet-
is there, I take it.
Right.
they're
Right.
more than
Yeah,
5
In my
feet,
mind, if I
jump on
have
me
the
in a turn.
opportunity.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I guess. Yeah, I'd have to stipulate what. So in my mind, I'm thinking like if they're So, do people actually call bang bang from more than 5 feet away?
Yes,
Sometimes.
we
What
actually
the
had a
fuck?
problem with that recently,
Oh,
where a
okay.
dude
Shoot
just
him in the
ran
face.
through
Never
our
mind.
entire
Just
front
yep.
line
Shoot him in the
and
face.
just
Okay.
I'm
yelling
not.
bang, 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 bang.
I am not taking. Even then, it's just like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
You're. We've had. I think I've had the biggest bang bang call ever at ArcLight. It was me, Gremlin, and the Mo Bros call sign Joker, and this is one of my favorite stories now ever. Is we were at a site. It was kind of just like a Connex town, just one story, and we had one line of people that I was in on the tree line, right? And then you had a few people in the actual Connex space. And I looked over to my right, and way off in the tree line, like not even like where we're looking, just way off to the right, I notice I'm like, one, two, three, four, like that's a lot of people. Wait a minute, right? And I'm like, why? I'm like, why are they so far away? Because they're very close to the game like edge, so I don't know if they're walking off field because the night portion of the game is about to start. We were just recently told that you don't have to play the night portion of the game. So I'm thinking these are people maybe walking off because they don't
Yeah,
want
they're
to play the
leaving for
night
the
game.
night. Yeah.
Right, whatever it is, but at the same time going, no, I'm not going to just be very 100% sure on me being lenient with this. So I run back into the base. I tell like the three guys that I had to stay there, and I ran back into the Connex base, and Gremlin had seen it too and already started yapping. So Joker gets a tag-in launcher, loads that up, and then realizes that that thing's got a fuse and that might not count, right? And he decides to be generous and picks up the giant machine gun. To which I now follow him. Gremlin's behind me with, I think she had a minigun. That's first off. She has a minigun behind me. I think I just had one of my M4s. I had the M4, and Joker just has this big machine gun. And we saw them come around back. So we go to the first opening we would see them come through, and the three of us turn the corner, and there's like 8, 9, 10 people who were trying to actually infiltrate the base and looked at the three of us and said, yeah, no, not today, Chiefs. We call it. We're gone. All 10 of them just left. You're like, we don't want any of that smoke. We're sorry. And just turned around. And we couldn't stop laughing about it. We were like, did that
So
really just happen?
were they walking casually? Like, or
They
were they
were
trying to
they were
sneak?
walking. I want to say they were sneaking, but they were very relaxed about it. Kind of like, oh, this is gonna be easy, and then no,
That's weird.
no.
Like, I never understood that. I've heard a couple people say,
We didn't
they're
even call bang bang. They just looked at us and said no. They did it to themselves. They're like, can we nominate to initiate the bang bang on ourselves? Like,
Yeah, right. Don't
so.
shoot us.
Done that. I've walked into a room at my local field and there's like 4 people pointing a gun at me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I could say I've done that too in that scenario. I've never done it outdoors, but I've done it then.
That's funny.
Strike Force can be a very scary place if you end up in the wrong room at the wrong time. It is scary because you're just in an 8 by 8 foot CQB room, and everyone's gun shoots 380 FPS, which is like decent outdoor gun like velocity, and you just turn a corner and it's just like watching a sentry turret from Call of Duty just immediately turn and look at you, and you're like, do I want to feel that? Like that split second in your brain, like I don't really want to feel that. I've been, what am I, 3 hours into this session? I'll call it. Don't shoot.
Yeah, don't
I'll
shoot.
walk.
All right. I got it. Like, I just turn around and walk back out.
Yep.
Yep.
When it's the first round of the night.
Yeah.
First round of the night might be a little different. You might walk in, you got a little energy in you, and then you just get lit up, and then by that like third, fourth round, it happens, and you're just like, I'm good.
No, I
Nah.
think your first
I'm
time
good.
playing
No, I
so
yield.
All
Yield.
right, so let me ask you this. Any of you guys, well, obviously, a couple of you guys I've heard you had some other hobbies outside of Airsoft. Do you guys have any other hobbies outside of Airsoft, or did you before you started Airsoft? I know, Bjorn, you said you rap, you freestyle,
Yeah,
music,
I
mix music, that kind of thing.
I've
I think your mic thing went out, bro. We
Lost you
can't hear
there.
you. Yep.
Yeah.
Other, yeah, it's gone.
hello.
There we go.
Hey.
Ahoy there.
All right, my headphones just died. I apologize.
That's cool.
Since around the time I could talk, I've been playing hockey.
Ice hockey.
Yes, at the age of 4, I went to an open skate, and my parents often went to dinner.
Hey, so look, since it's coming through your phone mic, you got to sit closer or bring the phone closer to you, because what it's doing, it's picking up your voice as background noise
Gotcha.
because you're far away.
I'll get
Okay.
close. Make it a little.
There we go. There we go.
So since the age of 4, I've been, but since I've been out of school, there hasn't been many opportunities aside, like, every now and then the weekend go to the beer league. But for a while now, about I think 2 years, I've been helping to coach the like U14 league down around here. There's something really about playing years and then going, oh wow, I was this age and didn't know any of this cool stuff. Picking out the 2 that are struggling, helping like nail down some of the stuff, and then picking 2 or 3 of the kids that are just absurd and going, hey guys, here's a cool trick. Work on that. And outside of music and hockey, just work and play Airsoft. So
That's cool, man. I've talked to a couple of hockey players. Yeah, actually, K Factor 39 is his Instagram and YouTube. He plays hockey. He's up in Utah, and he's been playing. He actually plays like farm league hockey, like on a real team. Yeah, like on a real team and shit, like organized. And so he must be pretty good. But yeah, it's I grew up playing broomstick hockey, right? Because I grew up in around Cleveland, Ohio, Northeast Ohio. It was cold, and every year the winter, the local schools, middle school, elementary schools especially, they would flood their tennis courts. So almost all the schools had tennis courts. They were really popular back then. I don't know if they still do, like newer schools, but they had tennis courts, and it would they had a big curb, kind of concrete curb around, to kind of hold it in, and then of course the fences and one way up. So it was great for hockey because even if you have a wild shot, your puck ain't gonna go flying. You don't have to go chase it into the grass or into the snow with your skates on. So it was great for that. But we always just played street hockey or ice or the tennis court hockey, broomstick hockey. But I never played officially. But I remember when I started, it was kind of like Airsoft, right? My buddy invited me, and I don't know, I think I was like 10 or 11, and I didn't have ice skates, but my older sister did, and she had figure skating ice skates, right? So they're white, they look like girl skates. They're not hockey skates, so they got the big, I don't know what you call it, but the big chunk, the teeth in the front, okay? So in hockey, you're leaning forward because you got to put your stick down to get the puck. Well, we're not using real hockey sticks. We're using broomsticks that you literally lay on the ground like you go in the garage and your old dad's got old stuff in there that's about to break anyway. You just kick it on the ground and break the end off, okay? and then
Yep.
use your stick as the. So this thing's short anyway, so you got to lean forward. Guess what happens when you lean forward? Your feet go like this. Guess what
And
digs into the ice? Your fucking teeth in the front of the thing for these figure skating skates. So I was on my face on the ice probably more than I played. Right, the first like 2 games that I played. So, and then I was able to get some Bauer brand hockey skates. I was so proud, man. I mowed grass. I shoveled fucking driveways to save all these, $2 jobs up or whatever, like, and got these really cool, I mean, to me, like badass hockey skates. They barely fit. They were a little big. But I got them at like a yard sale, and I was so excited. And then I went out there and I could really stay on my feet without falling on my face all the time. But anyway, yeah, hockey was fun, man. That's how I grew up. And once I got into like high school, we didn't really play that much, but it's fun.
Oh, yeah. I've loved hockey my whole life. Outside of that, I'd say just film photography, but I'd pick up old cameras, fix them, and then go waste $40 in film taking photos.
Nice. And what about you, you guys? Anybody else have any hobbies that besides airsoft?
So I play a little bit of guitar, and then I love airsoft. It's has a special place in my heart. But my first love is and forever always will be dancing.
No shit.
I've been a competitive dancer for about 10 years. I've been taking classes for about 16 years,
What?
and I'm a dance teacher as well.
Dude, that's awesome. What kind of dancing you do?
I do everything all the way from ballet to ballroom.
Get out.
Yeah, I've been.
You know how to do
training-
ballroom?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
That's impressive, man.
my favorite style by far has to be hip hop.
Yeah.
As a kid, I never watched the kid movies, the kid shows. I grew up on You Got Served, Stomp the Yard, Electric Boogaloo. Like that's
Oh
what
my
I
God,
watched.
Stomp the Yard, right.
So
Okay.
yeah,
That's cool, man. No wonder you're in good shape, right? That shit keeps you in shape, bro.
oh yeah.
Like I said, my daughter was on a competition dance team, and it was hip hop. So, and I remember the first year we put her into dance, the teacher said, "Hey, she has some really good talent, like natural talent. She's just really good at it, like out of the gate." So we have this traveling team, but it's expensive because you got to travel. The costumes are fucking expensive shit.
Yep.
And so, but she was like, but listen, it's super fun for the kids, and they learn a lot. So anyway, so she did that for 2 years. But yeah, so when she first told us that, I really thought it was like a sales pitch almost. Like, okay, she probably tells all the parents this, but no, man, my daughter was really good at it naturally. She loved it. She was good at it, and she didn't stick with it. I mean, she did the 2 years and then just, didn't stay with it. But, it was fine. She wanted to start working when our kids were 16, they all started working, whatever. So, I'm like, y'all are paying for your own phone bill in like 2 months. So however you pay for it, I don't give a shit, but it's shutting off in 2 months. Okay. So do something. But, yeah, right. But, yeah, that's cool, man. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. Are you ever hesitant to tell people that you're a dancer?
100%.
Yeah, right. Because guy dancers, everyone associates, oh, you're gay. Okay, got it.
Many fights because of it in school.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure,
Many.
man. So there was a couple of guys on her dance team that, same thing, they were very hesitant to be on the team because they didn't want that stereotype, when they went, go back to school, whatever, after the weekend or whatever. So, but yeah, that's a common thing. Okay. Cool, man. All right. Who else has some other hobbies besides airsoft?
Yes, you do. CBO,
Yeah, I guess, but I don't really do that no more.
you've done a lot for us.
Well, you like getting tattoos. What's your tattoo of on your arm?
Who, me or him?
Yeah, well, I already heard about Billy's.
Just some
Justin, that's
shit.
you?
I mean, I'm wearing a sweatshirt, so I can't really show everything, but
Yeah.
I just got a little bit. I'm more of a a lot of my stuff has meaning, but a lot of it also just I got it because I like the vibe of it. I like the way it
Yeah,
looks.
of course.
I got this here. This got some meaning. Back in school, I always found myself in trouble, so I kind of stopped hanging out with them kind of people that I found myself associating with and getting bad vibes off of. So I got that tattoo, separate myself because of that, because I just, I separated myself from all that. So that's what that means.
Good.
A lot of these other ones, though, like some of this shit just covers up scars. Like I got stitches tattooed over a big scar I had on my wrist here.
Nice.
I had some burns that I got covered up with this one.
Okay. Now, what were the burns from? Cigarettes or lighters?
Neither, actually. It was
Oh,
from
shit.
cooking.
Oh, shit.
Uneventful,
Okay.
right? Nah, just reaching in at the wrong angle and burning myself on the elements.
Oh, God. Yeah, right.
Yeah, some nasty
That'll
ones.
melt your skin.
Shit, now I just get burns from welding.
Oh, you welder? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, here, I'll show you. This is what my work boot looks like. I'm actually wearing one right now, but
Yeah. Oh, my God, bro.
held together with
Oh,
tape.
you got the black duct tape on it, too? Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Could be worse. You could have cauterized yourself with a heat gun.
Oh, bro, I'm sure it'll give me time.
I've done that.
Give me time.
Uh-huh.
Just don't put hand sanitizer and lighters together. You get third-degree burns.
Oh, yeah, same with
Mm.
that. Bro.
So
Yeah,
Hand
I
sanitizer is
I
like
have a
99%
really-
alcohol, bro. It's
Yeah,
like
I'll
the,
get-
That's the hard way.
yeah, fire gel.
I'll give you guys a fun story because I enjoy embarrassing myself for you people. When I was a kid, I think it was the funniest burn. I've been gotten physically burned a lot in my life, but there was one burn that I got that I'll never forget. I was a kid, right? And the heat didn't work very well back then when I was a kid. I lived with my dad at one point in the basement apartment. And what we would do is we had this little portable heater in the bathroom that was a lot stronger than I anticipated. And I just remember getting out of the shower and the heater was on. And I forgot where the heater was. It was on the toilet seat. And I'm getting dressed. And I sit down thinking I'm just going to sit on the lip of the toilet seat so I can put like my underwear on, my pants on. I ended up fucking burning my ass cheek on this heater.
Oof.
You could see the grating of the heater, like the thing that guards you from the element itself, just
Yeah.
imprinted just because from the burn on my ass cheek. I think I sounded like one of the Tom and Jerry characters when that happened. I was just like, yow.
Nice.
Yeah, fucking burns hurt, man. Let me tell you, I've been burning myself a lot these last couple weeks, man. Fucking
Shit.
welding. Shit gets you every time. You can't escape it.
You can't stop it. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
No,
I got
sometimes it just has to happen.
It just has to happen. So they just find their way. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. Those little hot balls just go flying. And they find themselves in some peculiar places.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, hot balls. Let me tell you. Hey, fucking goddamn balls.
let me paint you a quick picture here.
Podcast turned.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, outside of airsoft, though, I mean, work is pretty much takes up most of my life now. But I mean, not too long ago, I mean, I dabbled pretty heavy in like the esports industry, I guess you could say, and like not like super the top, but like a lot of those underground guys, like especially in the Call of Duty esports community, like where they pass through is some of the places where I was managing through people as well. So like I kind of
What is this now?
I'm sorry.
What is it?
The esports community, COD esports, competitive COD, Call of Duty.
Oh, okay. What is this, like a tournament team or something?
Yeah, like there's a bunch of them, like there's all the underground leagues and stuff. I was actually we built up a pretty big community at one time from the ground up. We had a
Okay.
pretty big community. I think we had we were managing like 14 different teams, and the highest prize pool we had was like 1,500 at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
It was pretty successful, I just as it got bigger, it demanded way more of my time, and
Right.
at the same time my life was demanding way more time, so I ended up stepping away from all of it and passing it on to my my friends, I guess you could say.
Your predecessor, yeah.
Yeah.
What so what is they're able to like place bets on teams or
Um,
games or
people occasionally like it's called wagers. So I mean, there's a lot of the times like how we would settle disputes because we had a no banter policy. Like you could obviously like talk some shit, but we didn't want that to spew over to outside of the game into where it was causing drama in the court all the time. So we
right,
had a
right.
policy about that, and how we settled with that policy. We would just essentially, you got a problem, hop in the wagers channel, place a bet, and the winner takes the pool. So we found
Oh
that was
shit.
actually a really good method, considering by the end of it, I think that because we kept track of how much money went back and forth between
Right.
everybody, and
Sure.
that shit was in the high thousands, like, and it was just
Yeah.
like $20-$30 bets, but
Right.
a lot of
Oh, that's
time.
smart, man. That's smart.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, we did a lot. We did a lot of that. We met a lot of different people. Like I know a lot of the people who you'll see going into like the big teams, like the franchise teams for like Activision, like the actual Call of Duty League. A lot of those people have come through some of these leagues and shit that I've been in. I've managed for
Okay.
different organizations. I've coached. I've played.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of these guys in here have played with me. They know I got it. War Dog knows too. I played with War Dog a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you looking forward to the new one coming out in what is it, November?
Yeah,
The new
I
COD?
mean, I'm mainly just looking forward to it to be able to play again because my account got permabanned. So I'm waiting for the new game to come out so I can get a new account.
How'd you do that?
Because I'm too nice.
You're too nice.
Too nice. I got banned.
Too
That doesn't
good.
make
He
sense.
doesn't cheat. I can vouch.
It's just, a lot of people, they're so quick to be like, oh man, there's no way he just killed our whole team in a couple seconds.
Okay, so okay, you're right. You're so good that everyone's complaining or filing complaints. What do they do? Bitching
Yeah.
about you
It's a broken
cheating.
system. It's a broken
So
system.
obviously you're cheating because you shot me before I shot you.
Yeah, they got fragile egos. I like to say people with fragile
Right,
egos,
dude. You can't be a little bitch when you're playing on fucking Xbox Live, bro.
right? Like
Fuck
just
outta
Not
here.
Call of
L,
Duty of all
Jesus.
hold this L.
I'm saying, dude, like, I mean, I started out on freaking Quake, the original Counter-Strike on PC gaming, okay? Like, this has been going on forever. That's what we do is shit talk,
Yeah,
okay? And if you can't handle it, get the fuck out.
yeah.
Like,
Mute your mic.
Like, dude, and
Mute
there's
the
mutual
mic.
respect. So if you're good, now I will say, we didn't really have all the bots and mods and whatever people can do now,
Yeah.
where a lot of we know that there's cheating in
Oh,
some
yeah.
of these games. We know that there's the whatever fuck they do with Call of Duty, but you gotta they're not. That's not the majority.
No.
That's like a few here and there.
But here's the issue. I'm gonna tell you right now what the issue is. The issue is Activision loves to advertise their Ricochet anti-cheat program that they have for their game, but it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. They
'Cause
don't
there's
want it to work, bro.
It doesn't work. It's just fake advertisement. They put it up there to say like we have an anti-cheat, but it doesn't work. And I can tell you it doesn't work because there are cheaters out there. There's a
Well,
fuck ton of cheaters out there.
Think about it. Think about it from a marketing standpoint. If all cheating went away on COD, look, negative banter about that stuff is still activity on their platform, right? It's so you're always, and because of that, you're always going to have these new guys that go, "Oh, I'm good enough. I can beat that cheater. I'm going to take that." Like people just don't walk away
Yeah.
from a cheater and go, "Well, he's cheated and he won. I guess that's it. Oh well, I'll just
Yeah.
ignore him and go on to the next." Nobody does that,
No.
especially in the heat of the moment. You're like, "Motherfucker, I'm going to get you this time," right?
Yeah.
And so it draws a lot of they're not going to fix it. They're really not going to
No.
fix it.
But
It's
the
kind of
problem,
smart. It's shitty, but it's
Yeah.
smart.
But
you
the
know.
problem with that lies where now, because of that, is creating a big divide because you have people who are just on another level that take the game so seriously, and they play for money, they play
Yeah.
for bets, they play to get on teams and go to challengers with the hope of getting into the CDL, right? Like, so there's people who are just that good, and then there's people that cheat. So,
Yeah.
and then you have the rest, and then the rest of people can't differentiate the two.
Yeah.
So anybody who just comes in and mollywops them is getting reported for cheating.
Mollywops. All right.
Yeah, you like that, right?
That's funny. All right. So I had War Dog. What's did you have any other hobbies before or now? Before Airsoft or after?
No, it was also a lot of video gaming. I was never like Call of Duty League competitive, but back in the day, I was in back in the day before Call of Duty League. There was this thing called game battles,
Yeah.
and
I played 'em.
I was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from back in the
okay.
day was
I did
my
Gears of
Call
War.
of Duty.
I
Yeah,
did Gears
yeah,
of War on
Gears was
tournament, and I
tough.
did game battles and MLG through MLG. Yeah.
Yeah, the OG Modern Warfare 2 was a different time, and Hazard here knows just how nice I was at that Call of Duty. Nowadays, it is a different time, but back then it was video games. Now it's a lot of work.
We have
Airsoft when I can.
We have literally set up televisions just to play Modern Warfare 2 and 3, just so he could smoke 3 people at a time.
At once.
At once.
But now it's a lot of work and balance that with life and then Airsoft in between. But work has taught me a lot. I'm really, really good, like handyman wise. I can weld in a very limited capacity, like steel. So I know where Justin's coming from. I've had a quick picture. I had like a sleeveless shirt, cargo shorts, and little like Skechers sneakers on, working out in the sun, like 90-degree sun, just welding a fence back together, and then that one ball hits the arm. It's like shit, and then one gets on the shoe, burns through the shoe, burns the foot, gets caught in there. Terrible time.
Oh shit!
Just think, these boots are steel toe, but it went right through.
It's Chinesium steel.
Yeah,
maybe. But
exactly.
I still love that word, Chinesium.
Right.
So let me ask you something. Do you have any questions pertaining the upcoming event we're going to be doing?
Yeah,
because there's a lot of cool factors.
No, I don't have any
to it.
questions because I don't really know enough about it to ask. But why don't you tell me about it and you promote it, and then we'll wrap it up.
Absolutely.
My ass is hurting, and I need another beer. Actually, hold that thought. Let me go grab another beer, and then I'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Give me 30 seconds if y'all want to take a piss or something. Right.
But anyway, back onto the subject. So we're going to be going into the Big House Milsom produced event known as the Yellow Dog Incident.
And who's putting this on?
Big House Milsom.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of the event runners and
coordinators. I don't think I've heard of them.
We've talked about them in the last podcast.
Oh, did you? Okay.
That's the one that we went and did the sanatorium event with a handful of my guys.
Yeah.
That they really do put on a very good event. And I've heard many good things about their events, and we're going to go to this one. It's going to be one of our biggest ones that we play this year, and it might actually be the last one we play this year. Believe it or not, the other 2 ops that we were supposed to go to for the second half of the year got canceled.
Why is that?
So, we're not entirely sure. Grimnir canceled Anthropos 3. They said basically they're going to be, long story short, you could check their Instagram post. They said that they're going to be, they're a little burnt out. They're going to be working more on the 2024 storyline. They have things they want to incorporate. They have things they want to incorporate into the next season, starting 2024.
Have you guys seen a difference in like a decline in or a drop in activity at some of your local fields? Because I've seen this just recently, like in the last maybe 3 weeks, where people have talked about how airsoft, like YouTube videos and these kind of things, are getting, even from the bigger channels, there's a huge drop in viewership. Now, obviously on YouTube, you can't really tell if that's from general or honest disinterest in airsoft, or if it's coming from YouTube, like shadow banning, because they've been rolling this thing out for like the last 2.5 years, 3 years.
I
I say
honestly
YouTube.
think that's probably a shadow ban thing, because even like off Instagram,
Okay.
the Mobros got a little shadow ban off 2 posts that should
Oh.
not have been.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everyone's in Airsoft. What's that?
I have been shadow banned 4 times. If you
I'm
look
sure.
if you look at my most recent posts, I keep like calling it out where I like all caps, all guns in this post are fake. Parentheses, remove
That
my
doesn't work.
shadow ban, you doink. Oh yeah,
So
no.
look, so let me. Hopefully, somebody will hear this because I mean, not you guys, but I'm talking about the general. Anyone
Right.
that listens to this podcast. If you are an airsofter and you have you have your socials, okay, and you're posting on Instagram and you wonder why your posts aren't going anywhere, or if you get a says, hey, it's we're going to take down, or they take your post down, whatever. I'm telling you for the 100th time, not you guys, but it is not because they think it's real guns. It has zero to do with it. I follow a ton of channels, pages on Instagram that there's one called Hell and Back. Okay. It literally shows the war in Ukraine, real guns, real people getting shot in the fucking face and blowing up from grenades dropped from a drone. I'm not even shitting, bro. Like it's visceral.
And they're going.
It's unedited. It's not banned at all. All these other gun channels post all kind of real gun shit. Don't get banned. So airsofters, please stop perpetuating this idea that you have to post fake gun, airsoft, not real gun, because it doesn't fucking help. Okay. I believe the reason that they're doing this is no one knows. We don't know. Why would they show the real gun shit and not airsoft? I originally thought it was because maybe they want to cancel the real gun environment, right? Like the real gun culture.
Right.
They want to get rid of it, and I think they do. And I think they think that airsoft is a precursor or the gateway drug of real guns. Okay, so I really do. I think that's why airsoft gets banned.
Before I was doing jokes on them, I was shooting real guns.
I'm saying, bro.
Before I had airsoft guns.
I've actually had people on here say, they've tried resubmitting the same picture or the same video, didn't edit it at all, and didn't put fake gun, airsoft only, blah blah blah. Didn't change anything, just reposted it after it was taken down, like deleted it, reposted it later, and it was totally fine, and it's been on there ever since. I don't know. No one can figure it out. We don't know. But I'm telling you, writing on there a disclaimer about fake guns and all this other shit, that's not the reason that your post is being banned, because of not having a disclaimer on there. If they can show real people getting shot with real guns in a real war, and they don't show airsoft because they think it's a real gun, bro, that 0 cents. That makes 0 sense. Anyway, so I'm just saying, it's you can play that game if you want with the, hey, look, it's just a fake gun. Don't ban me, please, because it's airsoft, bro. They don't give a fuck about your airsoft channel. I'm just telling you. Okay.
No.
They really don't.
I think they use like the keywords in their whatever their algorithms are,
Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram. They use those like keywords, disclaimer, airsoft only, not real,
Yeah.
and like that. Like once you do that, like now you're queued up in
It worked.
their conga line of videos and pictures for them to shadow ban.
I really think so.
For whatever reasoning it is, it doesn't make sense. But I don't.
Yeah.
I personally don't even bother with the disclaimer. I'm like, if it gets banned, I'm just going to post it.
That's how
I'm
I
like,
feel. Like, fuck it, whatever.
Exactly.
Like, how many people's gonna see that shit anyway, bro? Like, it's not gonna go viral and get like 1 million fucking views. Okay.
No.
They have stopped this airsoft thing back in 2019 or 2020. We started our YouTube channel. We were doing I was releasing 3 videos a week on average. That's how many videos we were doing between unboxings and reviews. Okay, so we had enough content because we had 4 of us on the channel. Each one of us would get a mystery box, and in a EVIC BOA, there's 2 guns in it at least, and other shit. So we would have 8 guns a month to review. So I'd never run out of content. I was doing 3 videos a week, releasing constant, and then people comment. So all the interactions you have on your channel boost your channel up to for the algorithm to suggest. Basically, once your channel gets into suggested feeds on YouTube, that's where you start noticing a big increase in views. So, and that's what happened to ours. Okay, so we went like slow and then gradual, and then just a huge jump in views on our videos in a short amount of time. Once we hit that spot where it was like it's all like this, right, on the the analytics, and then it just goes up a little bit, and then it goes real fast. Okay, so and then when they changed their terms of service, YouTube and Facebook changed them in the same month. Instagram was later, but they changed their terms of service. Not only our views, but the money we made, the amount of money we were allowed to make from each video, like more than half of our videos overnight, within once they changed this term of service, cut off, no monetization, and so you could see on the analytics down like this, a huge drop. It's like a cliff. And this happened with a shit ton of channels. Actually, Swamp Sniper, when this changed, this is back when Swamp Sniper had 1 million followers or subs on YouTube and shit tons of views on his videos. Overnight, his channel didn't just get demonetized. It got taken down. He had to fight to get it back. Okay. And then when he got it back, access to it again, YouTube said, your whole channel, not just these certain videos, is demonetized. You can't monetize anything. And he was making a lot of money on this stuff. Okay. So it made a huge impact on a lot of airsofters that were, content creators. So a lot of people freaked out and said, oh, how do I get my stuff monetized again? Like, I guess I need to do this. And that's where this disclaimer thing started. So I had a bunch of people on after this, and they were like, I said, hey, I want to ask you something. I'm not putting it down. I'm just asking a question. Why do you have a disclaimer on in the front of every one of your YouTube videos? So they'd have, some people did they would just talk, speak about it. And then some people had like a Star Wars kind of, scrolling text, right? Disclaimer, airsoft only. These guns are blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro, what are you doing? So I'm like, why do you have this? And they're like, oh, because of this terms of service thing. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Did you read it? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, it has nothing to do with that. Like, you don't need a disclaimer. Anyway, so a lot of that stuff changed overnight, and there was only a handful of really good channels that created really good content that stayed relevant. And one of them is Kicking Mustang, right? Novrich was, he's been doing his channel for a very long time, but Kicking Mustang was one of the fairly newer ones that had blown up and stayed at one of the top tiers in airsoft for YouTube because his content is so good. And it's not just he shows the zoom in and but he does the voiceover, which really makes it, he just knows how to do it. Okay. He knows how to create engaging content that you want to finish watching. But anyway, we were all affected by this terms of service change. And that's when people started getting, Instagram was a little bit later, but that's when your stuff started getting banned. So if you didn't have an airsoft channel before then, you probably wouldn't notice the difference. Like, you're kind of coming into it with your Instagram and you're going, oh, one of these posts got taken down or shadow banned, or like 5 people liked it. Like, what happened? And that's where it comes from. It's all speculation. We don't know exactly why they're doing it, but we've talked about it before on here, and I really think it's because they really don't want the younger generation getting into airsoft because it's a precursor to real guns. Okay, that's my guess. I'm totally guessing. I guess it makes sense. I don't know.
Shit, if
So
that's the case, why aren't they shadow banning all the Call of Duty stuff?
yeah, for real, I don't know.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
really doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know,
The
man.
video game industry makes too much money, I think, and then they'd get
Well, that's
involved.
true. Yeah,
They'd make
I guess where there's
billions
not
of
enough
dollars.
money in the
that's
pockets
true.
to be
That's
like,
true.
hey, promote instead
Yeah.
of like.
You have
But-
Airsoft with 200,000 followers. And,
Yeah.
no disrespect. And let's say he only has $1 million to his name.
Yeah.
And then someone like Activision strolls in and be like, yo,
Yeah,
why are
yeah.
you disrespecting our $80 billion net worth or however much it's worth,
Speaking of that, I don't think I've ever seen, not once, an ad on Facebook or Instagram for an airsoft manufacturer, right? Like KWA,
Nothing.
Tokyo Marui.
No,
And they could do
Never.
some really good ads.
Not
They
even
could
on
do some
Amazon.
fucking badass ads
Yeah.
with some of their gas blowback MP5s or some shit, right? Or AKs. So they don't really pay into. There's no incentive for Instagram or Facebook to not shadow ban all this shit. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
and not even that. But if you think about it, I don't know if you've ever had I call it the cookies effect, where basically you won't even type it in your phone. You'll be talking to somebody like at work, say, and you're just talking about this one random obscure thing. It's happened to me multiple times where you're like, oh yeah, I really like Five Finger Death Punch, like the band or whatever. You should go listen to them, and yada yada yada. I'm gonna go see them in concert, and then all of a sudden you're scrolling on like your Instagram or whatever, and then all of a sudden you ever see like those Instagram ads where you're going through your feed and it'll be like Five Finger Death Punch on tour coming to
Oh,
you,
for
and you're
sure.
like,
Mm-hmm.
it's the cookies
I'm going to tell you
effect.
the worst one, bro.
The phone hears you. Do you know how much
Absolutely.
airsofters or people like us talk about airsoft? Not one fucking e-bike ad.
That's what I'm saying.
The biggest
It's not out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
It's just
Mm-mm.
they could. I don't understand why. Maybe e-bike doesn't want to put out ads, or airsoft
do,
manufacturers don't want
they don't-
to. But
They do it on their own, but they don't pay for ads. That's the thing. They don't
They
actually
don't pay
make
for
a,
advertising, but they put it out on like YouTube.
Yeah, Evike
like
Matt.
every other one of their videos is an advertisement, basically.
Right.
yeah,
they don't
I
actually
mean,
pay for the ad.
most companies do. Most companies always have that
Mhm.
advertising. So either the money is just not there in the industry itself,
Mm.
or it's just being full on, shadow banned and censored.
I really think airsoft manufacturers and airsoft distributors like Evike or all these, I really think they don't understand how to market. I think that, a lot of these companies were started by airsofters who love airsoft. They're
And that's
not,
it. It's just kind of
and
like
they don't really hire a marketing expert to come in and say, hey, this is what we're going to do on your Instagram, okay? And this is what we got to do for let's film this professional looking 30-second clip and make it badass, all right? And then we're going to pay for Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Facebook, you can't even pay for it. They won't even allow
Not
it.
even
I think
gonna-
Instagram you can.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. They don't have to. They can, and I think they would flourish from it. But I also think that in their minds, they don't have to. You want to know why? Because airsoft is kind of like the gift that keeps on giving and breeding itself. Because then you have one person that does it. They want to do it with more people. They tell people, and then where are they going to go? They're going to go and look. Well, I know this is where everyone gets their guns. Evike, for instance, is the biggest distributor in the country. And then you have other ones like you go on Airsoft GI, or
Oh yeah.
maybe
They're
you
a
go
good
to
one,
like
too.
the KWA website. Back in the day, used to have Echo One's website you'd buy stuff off of. And then but Evike is the big one. And then when you say, well, I want to buy more stuff, either people are going to recommend you to a local store, or they're going to be like, well, go on Evike. And you're like, what the fuck is Evike? And then it just promotes itself the more the people get into the sport. Now, obviously, there's a cycle there because you can advertise e-bike and be like, okay, but I can get an airsoft gun, but what's the market? And then people don't even realize what the hell airsoft is. We've talked about it before. Like
Yep.
you tell people like, well, what's your hobby? Well, I like to airsoft. What the hell is that? And then you like tell
Yeah.
them, and they've never heard of milsims or
No.
events or even their local fields, like their indoor fields. No one's ever heard of this shit. No one ever like, wait, you can buy a vest and there's grenades and shit blows up and like
Yeah.
you go and camp in the woods for
Well,
3
that's what I'm
days. Like,
saying.
wait a
It's
minute.
not even like it's not
Yeah,
even
I make things go boom.
it hasn't been pushed mainstream,
No,
with
not
advertising
at
or
all.
marketing. But well, I didn't mean to derail the conversation. I was just curious because I had heard if some of these guys saying a lot of these bigger channels have lost a lot of views and viewers and that kind of shit over the
You were just
last.
kind of
This is just
curious
fairly
to get our
recent, like in
opinion
the
on that.
last 3 months. So I was curious if if you guys had seen that kind of decline at your local fields or whatever. But I think it's pretty much. I think what happened is what some of these guys were talking about is that during COVID, everyone was locked in. A lot of YouTube videos were watched, and a lot of 14, 15, 16-year-olds were getting
Yeah.
Kicking Mustang, Novrich, whatever, Silo, all these guys, Swamp Sniper stuff, and all these other bigger ones, and they were watching a lot of this airsoft stuff, and then it got them into airsoft. So there was a giant leap in the interest of airsoft at their local fields and the stores, whatever. And I think it's kind of plateaued a little bit, like it's just kind of leveled off from that growth, right? Which everything does. You can't keep growing constant like that. Like it's impossible. So I think it's just leveling off, and I think some people are like, "Oh, I'm not gaining new views and followers." So I didn't know if it was a trend that was happening at your guys' fields or whatever, but I was just curious. But
No,
Tony,
I
what?
don't think. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's exactly what's going on, but the events
Yeah.
did, our events did get canceled.
Well, that's why I was
We did
wondering.
have a
Maybe it was
couple.
because of that. Like,
No, Grimnir had in particular had made a post explaining why, and they were talking about, they did Op Benghazi out in Panthera, and they saw things they wanted to incorporate, and they
yeah,
need to get. They were really tired from the last
sure.
events and personal stuff, and they
Well,
wanted
they
to
put a
really get
lot into that
cracking
shit,
on.
man.
They really do, but they're gonna. They told us they're like we're gonna start really getting into writing the story with the 2024 season because in the storyline, the last Soul Wars event kind of derailed a lot of things, so they have to. I don't want to say they have to rewrite or rework how they do the Soul Wars events, but there definitely is going to be some big changes in the gameplay because it's not just going to be from what we've seen in the storyline of the last event, it's not just going to be CFI and IGC going against each other anymore. Like there's going to be CFI, the 13th Legion that defected
Gotcha.
from IGC. I think IGC is basically just going to be comprised of like the Odin operators, like those sprinting all black juggernauts is going to be what IGC comprises of. That's my
Okay,
guess. But they have a lot of work and a lot of storyline writing to be doing. And then there was
makes
just kind of
sense.
like a field issue with the other op that got canceled. But
Well, let me ask you. I've got a final question for you guys, and then it's kind of rapid fire, and then we're gonna wrap up with, tell her. We'll just go through each person and tell us where to find it. All your stuff, all your socials, whatever, and then we'll get out of here. So, um, my question is, and Connor, we'll start with you. Is that you can only have one? So it's a 1 day mil sim. Okay. You can only have one firearm on you the whole day. It's a 12-hour mil sim, right? Um, so whatever gear you want is fine, but you can only have one firearm. You can't have a pistol, or you can't have a secondary, whatever. It can be a pistol if that's what you want to run all day. So what gun are you running for your milsim?
That would depend entirely on what the milsim actually entails.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's true.
there would be two that I would switch between. Currently, those two are that AK that I showed off earlier. That would be for anything to do outside, or that's going to be mostly longer engagements. And then, if not that, then definitely my Vector, because that thing's whatever you want it to be, and it just shits bullets.
Nice. All right, War Dog.
Me, a little bit of depending on the scenario too, but
all right. So let's do the scenario is going to be just a bland, boring old force on force.
bland, boring force on force.
Red versus blue, bitch. Okay.
Open outdoors. It's going to be my GMP 249 saw thing. Absolutely shits bullets more than his Vector. I call it the angriest bubble machine you will ever hear.
Oh shit!
Because of the pseudo amplifier it has, which is just a suppressor that was cut in half.
Damn!
And, it reps. It sounds terrifying.
As somebody who's also used that thing, it is a beast.
Like after you empty the first box mag, if you've been going ham. The motor grip is as hot as the fucking sun, but it continues to be a workhorse. Like
shit.
I slow down after that. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a break. But that saw or my A&K M60, that when it does run, I fucked it up. Not perfect tech, but I'm a good one. That's when it does run, it was a workhorse. I ran it in like fucking almost downpour at Operation Brimstone a few years ago. Like. It just goes. Yeah. And then they're both electric. I don't really get into HPA too much. I'd rather just have batteries on me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, one of those two.
All right, what about you guys? The pair over here.
Probably my combat machine now. That thing's so versatile. It could probably be used in almost anywhere. Shoots just enough FPS for outdoor, and it shoots just enough to be accepted inside. So
nice.
All day.
Okay.
I'll say if it's indoor environment, like CQB, town, like house clearing in a town, definitely the Calico I had before. But if it's outdoors, wooded area, the rifle that War Dog's actually building me right now would be my go-to.
Awesome. All right, Tony.
So for me, I'm just going to have to go with Old Reliable, and everyone knows who that is, but I'll explain. It is a Colt licensed M4A1 short barrel carbine that for some reason has been just an absolute workhorse. Never had to open it up, never had any problems with it. And for a short barrel carbine, the thing shoots farther than it should.
Nice. Okay.
I have had it in many skirmishes. It is all purpose. It is light, so I don't get tired running with it. And the thing is the size of a submachine gun almost.
Nice.
And just lets rip. It's it's very reliable. I've never had it fail on me. I think that would just have to be my go-to because there's.
All right, now I've
had so many other guns.
I've got a final one. Same scenario. 12-hour milsim, outdoor, some CQB, buildings that like in the middle, like are pretty common, right? So woods and some buildings in the middle. If this is the Matrix, that scene in the Matrix where they're like, hey, we need guns, and all these guns go, right? Any pick of any gun that you can get, money's no object. Hey, just pick one off the shelf, man. You can use it for this day, okay? It shoots perfect. It's not going to break. We got endless batteries, whatever it is, HPA, whatever you want. Any gun that you want. Connor, what are you taking?
I'm saying put a scuba tank on my back of compressed air and give me the $4,000 minigun that is listed on Evike and just
nice.
let me.
Okay, gotcha. All right, who's next?
I'll go next, and then I gotta cut it short for myself. But if I had to, I would say screw the rules and have two 1919s together, mounted together. Money's no object. Barrel,
Right.
like both box mags to the side, like it's just one mount, like a Fallout or Halo heavy weapon. Just hit fire,
Nice.
just obliterating
Double
people.
barrel conjoined
Okay.
1919.
Yep.
Even.
If no money's no object, we just
Yeah, right. No, you're
fantasize
picking
them.
these off the shelf, man. You don't have to pay for them. Okay?
Yep. So with
All
that
right.
being said, I have to go. Good night. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
Really
Tell us
appreciate it.
where to find all your stuff, man, before you go.
Yeah. Short and simple. If you needed to, or if you were interested in that, my Instagram is just callsign_wardog. You message me there. You could message me at on Discord. That's wardog_TVD. That might just be Wardog capital TVD. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome,
If you
man.
needed custom tech work, maybe a paint job if you wanted to try that.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being on, man.
Appreciate being here. Thank you guys.
All right, brother.
Matt.
Have a good one, man.
Take care.
Yeah,
All right, last two. You guys over here. What are you guys running if you're picking it off the shelf?
Money's no object, and I
Yep.
can just keep feeding it with no consequence. I'm gonna go with the Bass Blowback AA12.
Nice. They actually make that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Wardog
Okay.
used to have one.
Nice.
Wardog used to have one. I have pictures of him with it.
Oh, I would rip if I had one of those. I'd be just running around ripping all day.
Oh, that's cool.
I'd have to go with a Block 2 Sistema PTW.
Oh, what?
You know the
I don't know what you said, bro.
Sistema PTWs?
A PTW. Yeah.
But I want it to be the Block 2 variant.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look this up. I'll look it up after. That sounds interesting. Is it like a main rifle? Is it a SMG? Like what is this?
It's the longer version of the Mark 18.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, what about you?
If I had to pick,
Yeah, you do have to pick. Not if you
Yeah,
had to pick.
I think-
You do have to pick.
Right
yeah,
now.
I think I have to go. I want an MG36. I want the
Nice.
machine gun variant of the G36 with the beta mag with the 100-round double drum, and I want a grenade launcher on it, and I just want to be running through causing havoc for everybody. I come
Damn.
across.
Okay. Holy shit.
Just an M203 and an MG36.
Okay.
I love the G36 platform so much, and I need to let shit rip. So if I have just unlimited budget, unlimited supplies, that's my pick.
Gotcha. Well, listen, man. Let's wrap it up. It's been a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you guys. It's been a really fun Friday night. Connor, give us all your socials, man, where everybody can find all your stuff.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm not sure if it's or underscore call sign Bjorn.
Let me
Sure that have that descriptions and whatnot. Get the spellings.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I just these. Just saying it on here at the end is for those that are driving, that are just listening. They're at work, right, and they got the earbuds in. They're listening to this on the audio version, and they can hear it, and then they might remember it and go to it later. But I am gonna have all of the links. Okay.
And if you're on the freeway right now, make sure to check to see if your directional is on. Because I swear to God, if I get behind one more person who just has their blinker on for like 3, I'm gonna lose my
For
shit.
no reason, bro.
Yeah, check your direction.
Get the fuck out of the road if you can't drive correctly. Okay. I understand sometimes you're tired. Put your fucking phone down and pay attention to the road in front of you. Jesus. Oh my gosh. For real now. Okay. Like you can wait 10 minutes to look at your freaking phone. You're causing a bunch of us to have fucking heart attacks and stress and have to drink. You're driving us a drink out here, okay? Yeah, I agree. Okay. Well, I'll have it is I'm looking it up right now. It's actually call sign dot
Ah.
Bjorn. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'll have that in here. All right. You guys, what's your socials?
Um, you can find me on Instagram, call sign underscore reaps. That's REAPS. That's subject to change though.
Reaps? Okay.
Be careful at Yellow Dog because the whatever the dumbest thing you do is going to become your call sign. I'm just letting.
Oh, you don't actually have a call
Review.
sign yet for the team?
No, I just
Not
have my
yet, no.
brand that I've had, but I haven't been
Okay.
officially given something.
Okay.
Yeah, he's fresh meat right now. We got some options in the air, but he's fresh meat.
Okay.
New blood.
You can find my personal at Billy underscore A13. And then my Airsoft one is call sign underscore Ace06.
Perfect.
Yep, and for me, you're gonna see me at call sign underscore hazard. And you can follow up at the team page, the Valkyrie Directive. And any post under either of those pages has every single TVD member in the description of every post. So
Nice.
you can always go and take a look and follow us down there. But I
Awesome.
appreciate you having us on.
Absolutely,
It's
man.
always a
It's fun.
pleasure. We didn't even get to touch on the topic, but it's always a good
What-
time. I just
what
love
was the
getting
topic?
carried away. I thought we were supposed to talk about Yellow Dog. We got immediately sidetracked.
I mean, I thought you talked about it. Did I miss something? Like what else
I
did you want to
remember
say about
saying
it?
I remember saying who it was by and that we were going. We have to go against its mercenary versus mercenary team, and we have to fight zombies. You can't be in the room with the zombies or else you die. And at the last 20 minutes of the game, there's no more revives. So at the last 20 minutes of every night of the event is a free for all. You can either die and not come back in, or you can become one of the infected, and the horde just grows stronger. There's an
Let me
entire
ask you this: Is there a
literal
website
faction.
from the hosting, whoever the host is?
Yes.
Is there a website?
Yep, tickets for Green Team are sold out. There are some for Tan Team left right now. The event is actually a week from today, so
Okay.
you know.
But where do people find information on it?
They
I can put that link
you
in here
can
as well.
go to you can go to bighousemilsome.com. If you Google Big House Milsome, their website will pop up. And they've been running some really good events, and right now they're going to be running a couple out of Yellow Dog Village, which is an entire abandoned mining town near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that has been utilized for us to run around. It's a mixture of woods and main roads and abandoned houses and buildings with basements and all sorts of creepy hooky dooky shit that will be in play. And for this event,
So it's
for this
OBB
event,
Milsim. It's not BigHouseMilsim.com. Apparently, right? Yeah, the Yellow Dog incident.
yep, Yellow Dog
So I
incident
typed
is
in
that in the
BigHouseMilsim.com.
description.
It goes to a blank page, a 404 page can't be found kind of thing. So it's OBB, or is it OBH? OBH.
Yep, OBH,
OBH Milsim.
OBHMilsome.com. So
Yeah.
you can find them there, and they have been running some really
Okay,
cool events and some really cool AOs.
I'll post this link on here. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It was a cool Friday night, and awesome to meet you. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
And you got a
awesome.
cool
I
helmet over
appreciate
there,
you.
Billy. Hell yeah. So look, anyone listening, follow these guys. Follow Connor for
If you
all
want
his
just
music
tips,
stuff as well. I put his SoundCloud thing in here for his freestyle rap with H Mac in the house, and and then Ace over here with his Milsim ready chest rig / plate carrier setups. Okay, so that you don't have some kind of debacle and fuckery going on with your shit when you're on the field like Connor did. where his chest rig fell off because you don't know what the fuck he's doing. And then FNG over here, new guy, follow him. He's got some good shit coming out. He's a new member of the team. He'll probably be he doesn't like to talk. He's just going to show you how good he is with his skills, okay? And then Tony, of course, leader of the team. Go follow these guys. And man, it was great meeting all you guys for real.
You too, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's been a
Absolutely,
pleasure.
man.
Have a good
All right,
night,
brother.
E-Rock.
You guys have a good weekend.
My
You too.
a last statement I'd like to make is
Oh, fuck.
a very simple joke, and I'll give you guys good night.
All right.
Oh, vaffanculo.
What do you call a joke with no punchline?
What? Oh, this fucking guy. You little bitch. Okay. We got you, man. We got you. All right, guys. Have a good night.
You
All
too.
right, you too.
You win.